Welcome to Florida Gators Live, episode number 47. We are a day removed. The game started 23 hours ago and 30 minutes from now, I guess. But no, what am I saying? 21 hours ago and 30 minutes or whatever. But yeah, we're a day removed now from the Florida Miami game. We've been able to settle down, let the air clear, and unfortunately, at this moment, Billy Napier has not been fired. And
Yeah.
yeah, great comment here. Hello, Tyler. No, but unfortunately, there's multiple ways to look at it. It's
Yeah.
like there's gonna be people who say he shouldn't be fired yet. I don't think either of us are one of those, nor do I think many people in our chat would be one of those. I mean, maybe George.
There he is. There's our guy.
Oh. Yeah, speaking of, I just stopped in to say I can't be here because I'm suffering from shell shock after Saturday. And the Saturday before that, and the Saturday before that, I'm freaking speechless.
It's been
George,
like 4 years of this, George. It's been like, actually, it's really been 5 because 2021 sucked too. So,
yeah. I got to ask you, George. Last week you were saying we were still winning out, or was it after the USF game? I can't remember if that was last week or 2 weeks ago. But you said we were still winning out and Billy's going to keep his job. Do you still have the same feelings on that? Although, I mean, you are speechless, so you might not even be able to reply to that. But
yeah, he's shell-shocked.
Yeah, no, JLB, no good news yet. And, part of it isn't even the fact that he needs to be fired in the middle of the season. I mean, there's arguments to be made.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also the fact that Gator Nation kind of needs a little bit of a pump. They need something going for him to get him excited for 100%. Football. Now, I expect there to still be a big crowd at this Florida-Texas game. I mean, the ticket prices for that game were insane in the offseason. I mean, the hype going into it, DJ Lagway versus Arch Manning, it's going to do numbers. It's going to be battle of the two best young quarterbacks in the country. Well, now people are going to watch it for a different reason. It's DJ Lagway versus Arch for who's going to lose their team the game. That's how I think that's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, going back to, do you fire him today? Do you not? I mean, I think we both said you should last night. I leaned towards it wasn't going to happen, but I thought there was a really real chance. I mean, I was kind of waiting for
hours.
Yeah. I at this point though, the fact that there's been radio silence, like that's the other weird thing to me. And we'll get into more of this later, but like, there's just last year there were like leaks. There were a lot of leaks and there's just nothing really coming out this time. So that could mean a lot of different things, but it's just interesting. No, I mean, I think that, my argument for firing him now would be just, first of all, I genuinely do think if you give Russ Callaway the reins on this offense, I don't think it can be worse. I really don't. I think it probably would be at least better in some ways. And also my thing is just like, what more do you need to see? Like, if you're Scott Strickland, what more? I mean, do you really need to see this team get to 1-6? Like, is that what it's going to 1-5? Is that what it's going to take?
The red shirt
I don't
thing.
understand. Like, to me, the red shirt thing, but it's like, there's no benefit to those guys. I mean, if you think you're good and going to the NFL, you don't really need the red shirt year anyway. Like I think that's overstated a little bit, like how catastrophic like the red shirt exits would be, but maybe not.
Yeah, we talked about it before the show, and it's like there's no major ones now, less major players for UCLA and for Virginia Tech. Like, who's the player?
Well, I was gonna say, keep in mind, like Sapp, Slaughter, Banks is obviously done, but like Sapp, Slaughter, not done necessarily, but done for a while. Sapp, Slaughter, Barber, those guys have no reason to. They're all going to the league anyway. So, your best of the best players, you'd worry about like a Jaden Baugh, maybe a Miles Graham for sure.
Miles Graham, no.
I mean, he's a Gator, I know. I mean, but I think coaching change in my mind, all bets are off. Like, I'm not.
That's fair.
I'm not completely putting my faith in anyone to stay. Cause I mean, and I'm not even saying I'd blame him if he didn't, but I don't know. I think you just can't get too attached to anyone when you're heading toward a coaching change.
Yeah. JLB, I'm in shock at how bad the offensive line play is after 4 years. Here's the thing. I don't know how much blame to put on the offensive line. I mean, they obviously weren't perfect. They haven't been perfect. I mean, actually, one, data analyst or whatever came out and had like a top 15 offensive lines they had ranking wise. Arkansas was one and Florida was still like fourth. I also think that's just a factor of offensive line play, like not really being that great across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that sounds like cope, but it's something I don't know if I've said on here, but I've said it to many people. Offensive line play or defensive line play is much improved, or offensive line play is much worse over the past, really since like the 2020s started. But yeah, I do think people are going to look at the offensive line and give it a lot of the blame, and it deserves some. I think the bigger blame is on the fact it's really on Billy and DJ. It's on predictable play calling, and the fact that we have no pass game, which is on play calling, and on the fact that DJ Lagway can't get a completion of over 10 yards. It's just insane how he went from the best deep ball thrower in college football to we have one completion this year against LIU to Vernell Brown. And that's it on deep balls.
I agree with you to an extent. I think clearly DJ, teams are sending pressure. Like LSU sent a lot of pressure. There's one thing, it's one thing to be like giving up pressure when they're rushing 4, but when they're just being aggressive with blitzes, like LSU and Miami did, because they know that, DJ is not going to pick it up. DJ is not going to sense it in the pocket because his pocket presence is just negative right now. I don't understand it. So there's an element of that for sure. I think the right side of the offensive line has been pretty porous. I think like Damian George struggled a couple times last night. I think it was George graded like a 0 on PFF.
Okay, so that was tweeted. I haven't checked since, but I know I was told from someone who looks at PFF a lot, those grades sometimes aren't finished.
Okay, so that was just a glitch. Fair enough. I can't imagine when it gets adjusted that it's going to be great. I don't think that side of the ball or that side of the line played particularly well. And just zero push in the run game. Like I know Miami has a really good defensive front, but like just zero push in the run game. That was frustrating to see.
Yeah, it is frustrating. I think you also look at it's also like they know that they're playing one high safety. They're putting 9-10 players in the box because they have zero worry about DJ Lagway going and throwing it over top of them. Like a big reason we've seen a lot of a defensive renaissance over the last like couple seasons now. Especially this year, like all the talented QBs that people were high on have really struggled. A lot of it is because defenses have gotten much safer. You saw a real era of defenses being aggressive, bringing blitzes, but now you're starting to see teams go running 3 high safeties. Like they're not letting you get the deep ball. They're making you beat you underneath, which is why you're seeing a lot of the best quarterbacks in the country are the seasoned veteran ones. Like, Carson Beck didn't play well against us last night, but before the game, Beck was being seen as one of the best quarterbacks. And the 2 Heisman leaders right now, John Napier, he's a senior, I believe. Mendoza is a third-year player or a third-year player, I think, but so less so. But when you look at the best QBs right now, it's mostly the QBs that have experience and aren't going out there trying to throw the ball over the top of teams they can't.
Yeah, but that brings us to the point where it is kind of all about Billy's offense, because like that's one of the most frustrating things about Billy's offense is there's no element of taking what the defense gives you. Like there's no adjustment to what's there and like, hey, this wasn't the plan, but let's just attack what's there. They don't do that. So I'm saying I think that puts everyone in a bad position. It puts, DJ in a bad position. Obviously, he's putting himself in plenty of bad positions, but it puts Baugh in bad positions. It puts the offensive line and receivers in bad positions. So like it's hard to judge any unit individually because I don't think any of them are being put in positions to succeed right now. But at the same time, I don't think the offensive line has been as good as it was billed in the offseason for sure.
Let's put that straight here to our Florida-Miami, our final recap here. We're just talking about how the offensive line has kind of been a disappointment for this season, which I do agree, but they're not being put in a position to have success. Even if they're getting some better blocking, there's still zero threat from their pass game. I don't know if I've ever seen a Florida pass attack with this inept. Treon Harris still had a game where he went out against LSU and had actually a really good game in Death Valley. DJ Lagway, what was he, 12 of 23 or 26 for 61 yards? I think it was, or it was something close to that. It genuinely looked like an offense that should have go out there and run the spread and run the option. And you saw on our touchdown drive where we actually ran DJ Lagway, there was a little big success on those plays. I liked them.
Yeah.
And, you can say maybe you should go back to it and keep running that, and you probably should in a perfect world. But I also wonder how much of that is them not or Billy wanting to protect DJ. Because, we've seen his injury history. He might be injured now. They've said he's not, but, I guess we might figure out later on. But, if you want to give your offense the best chance of success, if your QB can't throw the football, go out there and make him run it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you say maybe they want to protect him. I don't want to sound callous in saying this, but protect him for what? You're 1-3. Or you were heading toward 1-3 in the game. He's playing massively under expectations. This is the season. You have to turn this around right now. So I don't understand. Yeah, I think they ran that twice and it worked, but they ran it twice. So it's again, there's just no element of okay, this worked. Let's build on this thing that worked. There's no cohesiveness, no consistency. We've had and I was thinking, having this thought kind of today, this team is very kind of vintage bad Florida in the sense that you're just watching this incredible defense just get absolutely wasted by putrid offense. But even the bad offenses we've seen before, it never felt like there was just no ideas, no plan, no adjustment. This feels really like a new low.
Kenny, this is not happening, Kenny. If Billy is still the coach come that Texas game, Billy is calling play. It doesn't even matter. Does it even matter? The goal was if Billy makes the playoff, he's good.
Yeah.
Even after the USF lost, and he was mostly going after the Texas game. But if you went out there and beat Miami, and then beat Texas, we both said if we can beat Miami, then we both think we might or could even beat Texas, and then it's you're going to be ranked again, and you're playing with house money from there on. But now it's you have to win out to be in playoff discussions.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not happening. So I don't see why Billy would make that change right now.
No, that would remind me a lot of, do you remember when it was clear Mullen was on his way out, and with a week before he got fired, he fired John Hevesy, who had been worked under him for 20 years consecutively. That's what this move would feel like. It's okay, man, sorry, way too little too late on that one. That's kind of what Billy's here. He's made it to this point. I can't believe they haven't pressured him to make a change at OC, but it's
they have.
For it. Well, obviously they haven't too much because he hasn't done it. Real pressure is
some lies may have been said. I'll say some lies from one side. You could probably get what I'm saying here.
Yeah,
were said, and Billy beating Ole Miss and Miami, or Billy beating LSU and Ole Miss, kind of gave him some leverage.
Which is crazy. I'm in retrospect, winning one game against a 9-4 and it was an 8-4 regular season LSU team and a good Ole Miss team in which you got extremely lucky in a lot of ways to finish 8-5. In retrospect, the amount of cachet that got him is ridiculous.
George, Billy obviously wants to buy out money. He's apparently quit mentally already. Otherwise, he wouldn't still be calling the same predictable offense week after week. Who wouldn't want the buyout money for one? Oh, I guess if you're saying he still wants to be the coach here, the amount of slander Billy gets, which, as a football coach in the SEC at the University of Florida, if you're not winning, you're going to get, and you probably deserve to get. That's how the world works here. But, I would make sense that he's kind of just mentally out of it, but it's also if he's mentally out of it, why does he want to call plays?
I think it's an element of, I think calling plays for Billy, and I don't want to read too much psychology into it or whatever, but I think calling plays for Billy has, I think he's had a chip on his shoulder since Dabo fired him, frankly. I think play calling for Billy has always been, I'm going to prove that I can do this at an elite level. So I think Billy having success as a play caller is as important to him as him having success as a head coach, because that's just so inextricably tied to his coaching identity and how he views his career path. Maybe I'm overthinking that one, but I really don't think I am. I think Because, I mean, you see all these coaches, Eli Drinkwitz, the most notable one that's getting a lot of play, that have given up play calling because there were issues and they weren't egotistical about it. But there's obviously something about calling plays for Billy that is different because he won't give it up.
I think I saw the stat, and in his first 2 years, they were 15 and 17. And then he gave up play calling, and now they're 30 and 5 since then.
25 and 5, I believe, since
25 and 5.
Play calling.
Obviously, the talent and roster got better, and as he's built things up over time. But it's probably isn't 25 and 5. He was still calling plays for him.
Yeah, and I mean, very few coaches are. I mean, it's the irony is that the one that I'd say is probably the most likely name is one of the few that does in Lane Kiffin.
Lane doesn't call plays.
Wait, Lane doesn't call plays?
No,
I mean, it's
Junior.
Oh, okay. But I mean, Kiffin's got a ton of influence with the scheme.
Oh, well, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, he has a ton of influence with the scheme just as much as, Russ Callaway does for us.
Yeah. No, I mean, okay, so that is actually interesting. I didn't know that. So that is interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's just something you don't see very often. And frankly, there's just nothing in Billy Napier's track record as a play caller that shows he should be doing that because it's never been very good.
Yeah, I mean, besides the fact that he played winning football at Louisiana.
With just much more talented players than every other team he was playing.
Yeah. Someone was actually, one of the Gator Twitter accounts posted a drive from Louisiana. And it was exactly what you would see here.
I saw that. It's perfect. It's actually crazy how how does your scheme not change when you get access to SEC talent and speed?
Yeah, right here.
You don't have to moneyball it anymore. Yeah.
All of our championship teams won with speed. All the speed we have and not using it is ridiculous. I mean, yeah, that's right, Kenny. Percy Harvin, Demps, Rainey. We've had so much speed in the urban teams during the Spurrier years, and that's what won us a championship. And even Dan Mullen, I mean, we won a lot of games under Dan Mullen because of that speed. Just look at his receivers. Kyle Pitts was a 4-4 for a tight end. We had a lot of success because of speed that Dan Mullen had on the roster. And Billy Napier has brought speed here. I mean, Adam Mizell doesn't play a single snap.
What's the deal with that? Is he in the doghouse? Genuinely, what is the deal with that?
Because is he grounded?
Because he's not grounded enough that he still gets 9 snaps against LSU. But we don't. Did he take a single snap last night?
Nope. Helmet was off the entire game.
Yeah, helmet was off. Yeah, it's crazy to me. But you're throwing to TJ Abrams again. No offense intended to TJ Abrams. He could end up being a good player, but it's just. It doesn't make any sense. It's crazy. It's a crazy mismanagement, misutilization of resources. It's so frustrating.
It is. I mean, it's just so frustrating, like you said, because how well the defense is now playing as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we're gonna recap in this game here, and as much as the offense played bad, the defense deserves its credit. They played a bend, don't break style of defense, and it was able to keep us in this game until there was 5 minutes left, and then Miami was able to, put it to rest. But yeah, I mean, it's just frustrating because you have all this talent, and going into the year, the question was, are we gonna spread out the ball more? I heard we were, and I mean, Dallas Wilson hasn't played yet. That's part of it. Mizell missed a game or something like that, and he obviously just missed a Miami game now too, but missed a game to start the season, and it's okay, maybe they're waiting until they play opponent. But it's now does it even matter if we spread it? Because Lagway can't get them the ball.
No, dude, the target spread, this prompted me to look. The target spread from last night is so funny. 6 to Hayden Hansen, 4 to Baugh, 4 to Trey, 2 to Sturdivant, 2 to Vernell, and then 1 to no more than 1 to anyone else.
Oh, something we did not mention last night. There was a play where we had a false start. Vernell Brown, it was just a quick slip pass to Vernell Brown. If there isn't a false start there, Vernell Brown was going to get probably our biggest play of the game. I mean, he's 1-on-1 with a chance to go 40+ yards.
Yeah.
Maybe take it to the house with his speed. So, of course, that's a big play that's taken back because of a false start there. So, that's something that continues to be a problem.
That's something. Why is he touching the ball twice on 2 targets? He is, I mean, all the talk was Dallas Wilson. And I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't even know if you can expect to see Dallas Wilson this year at this point. I mean, we'll just have to see how that progresses. But I mean, Trey has been a sorry, not Trey. Vernell Brown has been a revelation this year. I mean, he looks really special. And the fact that, like, just get the ball in the hands of your best players, but there's no element of that. I mean, 12 runs with Baugh. Again, I get it. They had the run pretty swallowed up, but I mean, still 4 yards a carry. Jacoby Jackson.
Okay, I'm pretty sure Ball had like -2 yards at halftime as well.
Yeah. I mean, Jacoby Jackson, 5.6 yards a carry. Like, I mean, a lot of that was, I mean, granted, okay, that was on long of 27. I take it back for Jacoby Jackson a little bit, but I mean, like, I think there were more opportunities, and I just don't understand why Hayden Hansen is getting 6 targets and your best receiver is getting 2. Like, how? I don't get it.
Someone was pointing it out, and the issue may not even just be the system. It's the fact that we utilize tight ends so much, and we don't have good tight ends.
No.
Hayden Hansen and Tony Livingston should not be on the field as much as they are.
It's crazy. You build towards you spend your whole identity and your whole process of evaluation building toward 12 personnel, and you forget to get the good tight ends. It's insane.
Yeah. Kenpo Karate here. Word is Mizell missed curfew. I'll say, I know I'm not going to say it publicly, but I'm pretty sure you also heard a rumor. I didn't confirm with you if it was the same player, but I haven't heard that about Mizell. I heard about a different player who did start the game.
Yeah.
So if I remember before the season, David Waters from Gators Breakdown, he did an interview with Billy Napier, and he asked him about Aiden Mizell, and the way he talked about him kind of felt kind of weird. Like, he would ask him about the good stuff, and Billy would just kind of come back to, he needs to work on the small things to improve, which, kind of is Billy. But it just felt like, we've heard talk about a bunch of players, and say these guys have looked good and stuff like that. And with Mizell, kind of just talked about him in a weird way. It's hard to describe. You have to go listen to the interview from David Waters about Aiden with Billy Napier on Aiden Mizell. But, like, is there just something against Aiden Mizell? Like,
has he just been in the perpetual doghouse? Because, I know he's had injury problems at points throughout his career. But, again, it's not keeping him from taking 9 snaps against LSU. It's just he's not staying in there. So I don't get it. Because he makes plays. Not only does he make plays, but I feel like he's the only one of these guys that I can really say I feel like DJ has kind of always had rapport with.
Yep.
And that's what makes it even crazier. Your quarterback's uncomfortable. Not only are you not dumbing down the concepts to create easy stuff for him, but you're not putting in the receiver that he has the most chemistry with. It's insane. I don't get it.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense. And I've pointed this out, and Aiden Mizell is kind of, I feel like UF has treated him very poorly, or Billy's staff. And I hope it doesn't make us lose him, especially if we go and get Lane Kiffin to come be our coach here. I think Aiden Mizell would cook in a Lane Kiffin offense. I mean, all of our talent we have at receivers will cook, but like Aiden Mizell in particular, someone with his speed, like he's the player that's going to be wide open 20, 30 yards down the field that Lane Kiffin's throwing up the playbook for, even though he's not calling plays anymore. But he's the player that he's doing that for, and is going for leading the SEC in receiving yards, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you bring Lane in and you can somehow manage to keep Mizell and Vernell and maybe even Dallas Wilson, who knows? If you could keep those guys, Lane is going to cook. Lane would cook. Lane would cook with this person. I think Lane would cook with this personnel grouping right now. Oh, yeah. Probably Absolutely. DJ Lagway included. Do you not think?
We're probably 3-1 or 4-0 if we.
Am I crazy for saying that I think Lane could fix DJ pretty easily? Like, I don't think any coach looks at DJ and thinks he's broken beyond repair. Any good offensive mind.
I'm not an expert on quarterback play or injuries, and I know what I've heard about the injury stuff and whether or not he should have gotten surgery. That's like one of the few things I can't blame Billy for. I can't say too much here, but like Lane's injuries things, like I'm sorry, not Lane's. Lagway's injuries, like that's something that Billy couldn't really control. I'm not saying like Lagway getting injured is stability can control, but his recovery. Now, I have heard stuff about our medical team being pretty poor, although that's also not necessarily with Lagway. But
yeah, well, I mean, I hate to do this because I think football injuries can be a million different things, and they don't always reflect on the staff or the training staff or whatever. But I mean, it's hard not to notice every week when you look at the availability reports how overwhelmingly it's more Florida guys than whoever they're playing. I mean, the injuries coming out of camp. I mean, again, you have these things happen. I'm not saying they should never happen. It's just it seems to happen a lot. And it's not even hey, guy broke his leg in practice. That sucks, but that just happens. It's these lingering soft tissue kind of things that just seem to keep guys out for indeterminate amounts of time. It's weird.
I want to get to this here. Mr. Bassman, who cares if the portal opens? You think the next coach will want any of these guys? Yes. I think any coach would dream to have this roster here.
I mean, I don't think you use that as a cudgel to not do anything. There's no one on this team. There's no one on this team that I think that is worth keeping Billy Napier over. So,
no. We're losing. We're 1-3. That doesn't.
It
obviously doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah. So it's I definitely think I think there are definitely guys that any incoming coach would want to keep here. But I mean, also I'm sure if you hired someone like Lane or even a Signetti, I'm sure they're going to come in and portal quite a few guys as well.
We should probably focus a bit more here on the Miami. I mean, Kenny, if DJ is hurt, don't play him. He looks embarrassed. He just looks robotic. And, I've heard things saying he's hurt. Billy and Lagway, they've said that he's fine. I mean, it's really weird to try to figure out what's going on here. Because it's there's so much, someone's lying.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I just feel like the best solution here is just to be done with it. Get Billy out of here.
I mean, with all honesty, who knows? I mean, I know there's chatter about the injury stuff, whatever. I don't have any inside info, but I'm inclined to believe Billy and DJ because he doesn't look hurt to me. He looks broken, and there's a difference. I mean, again, it's I don't know, man. I'm sure you probably saw the video that's making the rounds, just kind of a compilation of his highlights from last year. This is not the same player. This is not the same player, and I'm not even talking about physically. It's confidence. It's seeing the field. He is just he's broken, and I don't. But it's not you can tell when a quarterback is playing with through a shoulder injury that they shouldn't be. They're skipping rocks. They're leaving them short. They just have no control. A pitcher.
He's not throwing it deep this now.
No, but I think that's because he can't stop throwing into triple coverage. Because again, it's he threw that triple coverage pick against LS, one of the three. He threw that triple coverage pick that was an overthrow on a deep ball. So I don't even know.
I want to get here. Gatorzilla here. Lane. Oh wait, nope. Wrong comment. Where is it? Where'd it go? Am I missing it here? Lane. Okay, Lane isn't leaving Ole Miss, which I got to. And then Lane would have left last year, but no. I know Paul Feinbaum said that, but you can't really trust Paul too much. Feinbaum. Paul Feinbaum also said Arch Manning was going to be the best player since Tim Tebow. So there's other things you got to look at here. But I think it's too early right now to say because we still have 2.5 months of football left here in the regular season to be played. So there's going to be a long time before that gets there. But I think there's a decent chance Lane would come here. But back here to Florida, Miami. No, I do think this was kind of just the antithesis of the Billy Napier tenure, where one side of football plays good, the other side plays bad. You get a little spark in that third, fourth quarter area, and then you actually get another spark, and you fall flat, and the other team puts the game to rest. You remember Florida LSU in 2023, where we actually took the lead in the third quarter. And then LSU went, I don't think, did we even score again in that game? I mean, Jaden Daniels has the 65-yard touchdown run or whatever it was later on, but I don't even know if we scored in the rest of that game after we took the lead in the third quarter. And we ended up losing by 2 or 3 scores there.
It was like 52-35 or something crazy like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, we may
Like,
have scored. I think we took the lead like 28-24 in the third quarter. So we may have scored one more time there, but it's like you get momentum on a tough environment at LSU, just like we were at Miami. I mean, that was a pretty good crowd there. It was a fun game to be at last night. But and I mean, we had all the momentum too in Miami. I remember when Cormani McLean got that pick. I mean, there was a good group of Florida fans around us, but all the Miami fans around us kind of sat back and they took that deep breath. You know, earlier before the show, we were talking about the Jags game and how when we had 3 straight drops and the interception, and it's just so frustrating, so annoying. It's like, I know I took a deep breath after I thought we were going to lose, honestly.
oh, I totally thought we were going to lose.
Nico Collins ends up fumbling, so thank you, Nico. But shout out Nico for doing that.
Yeah.
But it's like take that deep breath, because look back for Miami fans. Mario is a history of losing games he shouldn't, and that would probably be like the second game that he shouldn't have lost. Obviously, behind the Georgia Tech one from a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is he just was running up against an even worse run operation. Yeah, I mean, it's like you're not even impressed with Miami. I don't think either of us were. Like, I don't walk away thinking that they're a great team. I think they're probably going to lose when they play Florida State in a couple weeks, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Sold on FSU yet? Either,
I'm not completely, but I just look at this game and I'm like, I think FSU's defense is good enough, and I'm like, FSU can probably score on these guys in a way that Florida couldn't, and that makes it interesting to me. But I mean, I think the bottom line is like this was the quintessential Billy Napier football game. Your defense plays well enough, you keep it close. I guess maybe not quintessential Billy Napier for what it's like was his first couple years, but like what he wants it to be. Like this is the kind of game Billy Napier wants to play. He just has a negative expected value offense right now, so there's not much you can do.
Yeah. Last thing I'll mention here in the Florida Miami game, Jaden Woods, he had his sack. He also on back-to-back plays, it was making rounds of him getting held.
Yeah.
He actually, the exact same type of holding where, his arm is wrapping around his neck happened on back-to-back plays.
Sorry, go ahead.
If our new coach can find a way to keep Jaden Woods here, I mean, I think he's going to be a very, very good player because, he's lining up against Francis Mauigoa.
Yeah.
Projected first-round pick, all ACC, all-American type of player.
Yeah, that's all I was going to say was those were like clearly the holds of the I just got beat and now I'm desperate to stop him from getting a sack variety. And he was doing that against some of the best tackles in the country. So that's really impressive to see. There's bright spots across the field. I mean, that's just what makes the fact that we're looking at 3-9 or 4-8 is ridiculous with all the potential bright spots. Cause I mean, looking at 2013 and 2017, which are really the only comparable seasons in recent memory, there were no such bright spots. 2013, the entire team was injured by October, and 2017, they just never got off the ground other than that Hail Mary against Tennessee. So it was there was never any this is something that's good. There's a lot of those things here. Florida shouldn't be 1-3 right now, staring down the barrel of 1-5, but here we are.
And this gives me a topic for another show that we can do. So we'll end that Florida Miami recap there, but yeah, I mean, I kind of know this whole show is just going to be what this comment that just got left here. That's how I was just about to say this whole show is going to come down to just the talking of Billy Napier's tenure here and him needing to be fired. I mean, Dustin Morrison, in all caps, should Napier be fired and Roberts be interim head coach? He has the defense on point and playing with intensity. The offense just looks depressed and undercoached. Just some excitement could maybe help. There's a point with Ron Roberts that I'm not going to get in here because it's nothing confirms, but there's a reason that Jaluk is wanted to be the interim and not Ron Roberts. Although now you have the Jaluk stuff, so
yeah, I mean, if that's why they're waiting, because they want to make the suspended coach who probably should have been fired, if we're being honest, they want to make him the interim, that's crazy. I mean, first of all, if you've decided to fire a coach, waiting for any reason because of the interim situation is crazy. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't matter. There's no one on this staff that's gonna get the full-time job. It doesn't matter.
I don't know if you saw this, but Gatorzilla brings it up. I just saw the Lane Troll spot the ball he put on Instagram.
He's either just so clear. He's either orchestrating the biggest troll job of all time, which is Lane Kiffin, so that's very possible, or he's just like doing the least subtle lobbying for the job I've ever seen, which I think is also very possible. So I guess rubber's gonna meet the road here in a couple weeks probably. So we'll see what happens when it happens. But I mean, I think going back to kind of what we said earlier, I think anyone who tells you that there's no Lane's not taking that job, I just don't believe that, frankly. I'm not saying he for sure would, but I don't buy that Lane would not be highly intrigued by the Florida job. I don't believe that for a second.
No. George, Kangaroo Black in Alabama channel had a 17-minute video on what's up with Florida. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that with us. But Gatorzilla, Roberts would run the ball more. I mean, in the first half against Miami, we couldn't run the ball. We did. It was pretty clear that they were trying to run the ball, but we just couldn't. I mean, that Miami defensive line. I mean, Ruben Bain from a scout I talked to, he's saying Ruben Bain might be the best player in this draft class.
Yeah, I mean that's very.
And that's not just from this game. I mean, he also dominated the Notre Dame game. Ruben Bain's on pace to be a top 10 at least draft pick in the country. So.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's just it's really hard, even when you have the personnel to be a good running team. It's really hard to do it when you're just this unbalanced on offense. When there's DJ did not throw a ball more than 10 yards last night. I'm pretty sure.
He threw one to Trey Wilson. That was overthrown.
The one to Trey Wilson. That's right. So I mean, when there's no threat of that, there's nothing to do but just take away the run. And Miami's got a good front seven, and they were able to do that. So I mean, I agree. I still think, what did Florida end up attempting?
23 passes, right?
So
26.
Discounting DJ, 21 carries. So
what about the 2 designed runs?
So I'm assuming so let's say -6 from DJ. So 23 carries if you count DJ's design runs. So I mean, that's not a lot, but that's also not neglecting the run entirely. I mean, 2.8 yards of carry as a team.
With runs that were predictable. I mean, you're talking about we need to run the ball more. How else could we have ran the ball?
Yeah, I mean, running in general is pretty predictable when you can't pass the ball. That's the.
It's we try to run outside, and you have Ruben Bain and Marquise Lightfoot who are crashing in, and then you run inside where you have Justin Scott, Armando Blunt, and David Blay. I don't know how you're supposed to unpredictably run the ball. I mean, we tried an end around with Trey Wilson for 3 yards, but I don't know what other ways you're trying to run the ball here.
And that
Didi thinks Billy is doing a great job.
Yeah. Well, it's running the ball is also the element, that's the element of the offense that Billy actually does have some creativity schematically and play. So it's that's I don't think. I think it's the sequencing. It's the game plan. It's not that our runs are predictable. It's that the fact that we are going to run is predictable, I think, is the problem.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement right here. But let's get into something else here. Usually we do this before our predictions, but no game prediction this week because we're on a bye. So that's cool. But our 1v1 Pick'em League. Or just us two.
League. 2-team league. We're the Pac-12. We're the pick 'em Pac-12.
Oh God, I mean, I would be Washington State and Oregon State. You would be the team that's not even in it right now. But
I'll be Texas State.
Not a horrible week for me. I think actually this was my best week yet. So I went 4-3. I got Texas Tech right, Oklahoma. Tulane was not a good pick. I got Michigan and I got Miami right. Games I got wrong, Tulane. North Carolina, oh my God. I did not think it was that bad.
Yeah, that's tough. They're tough.
Oh my God.
This is not going swimmingly.
No. And then South Carolina lost a close game to Missouri, which Lenora Sellers did play in. So,
yep.
And then you got right Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Michigan, UCF, Missouri, and Miami. The only game you got wrong was Utah. So I went 4-3. You went 6-1. This week, great slate of games. Yeah. I'm excited to make these picks in.
This is a great week for Florida to have a bye. I'm so glad the Gators have a bye this week because there's some awesome games.
Yeah, so we'll start off here Friday night before we have a great slate Saturday. Number 24, TCU at Arizona State. Arizona State got a big win this past weekend, a game I predicted them to lose to Baylor. We didn't predict it, but
I also, if we had predicted it, I would have gotten it wrong with you too, because I picked Baylor in my against the spread.
Yeah, so 24 TCU got a nice win over SMU. I'll go first here. I'm gonna rock with TCU.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Arizona State is what it is, and I kind of think both these teams are. I think TCU is going to be a little bit better. I trust Josh Hoover more, and I think it's two good coaches, Sonny Dykes versus Kenny Dillingham. But I'll rock with TCU here.
Yeah, I agree. Arizona State, like their offense has been kind of questionable, and Baylor's defense has been kind of a sieve this year. And they won the game, but they didn't like go off offensively against Baylor. So I think TCU's good. I think TCU's explosive. I like Josh Hoover. I think they're like a very low key Big 12 contender.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, I have them third in the Big 12. Oh, I mean, Texas Tech versus Utah was a close game that Texas Tech got a couple late touchdowns, kind of like our game to make it look like a blowout. But
I'm a little nervous about Devin Dampier, though. I'm a little nervous about that offense. It didn't look great at all.
Although I think that Texas Tech defense is.
It might be. It might just. I mean, if their defense is that good, they're a legit playoff team. Like that could make some noise.
Oh yeah.
Like not just get there, like make some noise.
Hey, Mark Leftwich, the offensive coordinator for Texas Tech,
Mm-hmm.
someone to maybe keep an eye out there, depending on who we end up hiring.
Yeah.
Next game, noon game here. 21 USC at 23 Illinois. Illinois just got stomped.
Yeah.
By Indiana. Now, USC hasn't been tested this year. They're ranked 21. I mean, they beat Michigan State 45-31.
Yeah.
Still concerns about that USC defense. I mean, their new DC, is it?
It's still Deonton Lynn.
Yeah, Lynn. That's right. I was thinking Lane.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, but yeah, Deonton Lynn. I know I've heard a lot of great things about him. Year 2 now, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, I didn't watch this game, so I don't know how exactly those points came about, but 31 points to Michigan State, probably not what they would have wanted in this game, but I'm still going to take USC. I know before, I think we talked about it last week, how I've been really low in Illinois.
I was really high on them.
Yeah, and Indiana kind of proved me right, so I'm going to take USC here.
Yeah, Illinois was my like preseason sleeper playoff team. I was all in on them. I was all in on them to win Saturday. Obviously, they did not at all win Saturday. Didn't even come close to winning. I'm kind of selling all my Illinois shares, to be honest with you. And like I think USC might actually be pretty solid. I think defense still a little questionable. I think Jaden Mayava has been a lot better than I expected him to be because he really wasn't great at the end of last season. He's played pretty well. First test, but I'll go USC. Where is this game?
This game is in Illinois, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so a little disadvantage there. I'll still go
in Champaign,
USC, though. Yeah, still go USC.
All right. Next game we will predict. Scroll down here a bit. Oh man, it's so many good games this week. You'll pick here first. Number 4, LSU at 13, Ole Miss. ABC game. I mean, this is a tough game because I'm not particularly too high on either of these teams, but I also feel like I'm not particularly high on many teams right now. So, you're just finding ways to win to get your ranking. That's kind of what's up. So, who do you got and why?
This is a tough one because, like, I think Ole Miss is pretty suspect defensively. I mean, they just cooked Tulane, but like they were not great against Kentucky and Arkansas, an Arkansas team that just lost to Memphis, by the way. And also, like, I mean, we don't know. Like, Austin Simmons probably going to be back, but do you?
Trinidad should start.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, Austin Simmons was having a decent start to the year, but like Trinidad Chambliss has been insane. Like, he was not bad, but like Trinidad Chambliss has been crazy.
4 interceptions in a game and a half of playing time against some subpar competition.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you would consider that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Trinidad Chambers has been fantastic. I don't know how you put him back on the bench with the way he's playing.
No,
I
agree.
I do legit think LSU has a very good defense, even though Clemson and Florida's offenses clearly are pretty flawed. I think LSU, even though they have offensive issues, I think they'll be able to score, because if Kentucky can score on these guys, I think LSU can.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I think this one really could go either way, but I'm going to go LSU.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you kind of said it. LSU's defense looking really good, but their offense cannot score or is not looking good at all. But then Ole Miss's offense has looked fantastic, especially with Trinidad Chambliss in their helm.
Mm-hmm.
But their defense, I mean, Kentucky and Arkansas looks to have a good offense, so maybe that's a bit more excusable. But yeah, that defense has not looked that good this year. Although maybe they turned something around in the game against Tulane. But I'm gonna go Ole Miss here. I think LSU is big on fraud watch. I think the difference between LSU and Florida, and Florida's played some close game. I mean, we played close game against LSU and Miami, so it's like we're 1-3, but close losses. Whatever I'm getting at here, but I think LSU is pretty close to Florida, and that they just have a better play caller, Joe Sloan, right?
Yeah, Joe Sloan.
Better play caller, and I think Nuss's experience, and Nuss is a bit better. No, Nuss is actually probably a good bit better than what Lagway's been like. So I think LSU could honestly get smacked here.
Interesting. I mean, I'll just say, like, Trinidad Chambliss has been fantastic. Still really skeptical to see what happens when a Division II transfer has to play against a legit, very talented SEC defense.
That's a great point.
Like, he has been great. This could also be like just a legit meltdown, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's a very valid point there. All right, next game we're going to discuss. Which one do we hit at first? We'll do that one last since it's the college game day. 17 Alabama at number 5 Georgia. I don't think anybody expected Alabama to have a loss coming into this game, and they bounced back against Wisconsin, but Maryland just thumped Wisconsin as well. This Wisconsin team is not good. They're shooting fire Luke Fickell. I don't see him making it past this season. I know there was legit talks about Billy, Fickell, Gundy, and Sam Pittman. I mean, Pittman was never getting fired today, but about them all being fired today, so that would have been pretty interesting. But yeah, I don't think you can look at Alabama beating Wisconsin by not they did as a Bama looking back to what we expected Bama to be. I don't think we know anything about this Bama team I don't think we know anything new about this Bama team since the FSU game. I'm kind of going to go into this game seeing Alabama as the same team that I saw them against FSU, maybe a slightly bit better. Mm-hmm. But I thought Georgia's offense has looked really good. I mean, Tennessee's defense could be a bit suspect.
Just gave up 364 yards to one Jalen Kitna yesterday.
Hey, SEC QB, man. That's excusable, but no.
Yeah.
Won't make another joke there, but yeah, I mean, sorry. But no. I'm going to take Georgia here, especially in Athens. I mean, I feel like Bama's going to end up winning this game now, but I'm taking my smart money says Georgia, so I'm taking Georgia.
I kind of am. I've recalibrated a little bit on Alabama. I think I'm walking back my this might be bad. I think, I don't know, just the more I kind of think about it in context and like watching other teams kind of play pretty inconsistent and struggle as we've gotten into the season, it's like, is it that surprising that they just got caught off guard by an FSU team that's, no matter how much you buy into them, they're clearly a lot better than any of us expected. So I don't know. I think Bama is probably still pretty solid. I just think Georgia scares me. Like, I think as not high on them as I was coming into the year, as I sit right now, they might be my national title favorite. As terrible as that feels to say, it feels like there's a lot of teams that have a lot of clear issues. And I think Georgia's not as elite as it's been in prior years, but I'm not sure it has critical weaknesses this time. So we'll see. But I mean, I do think that's fair. I mean, I was impressed with their passing game against Tennessee a lot. It wasn't good before that. They seem to have figured something out with Gunnar Stockton. I think Georgia wins, but like, I'm very curious if Alabama has a big bounce back performance here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, FSU still hasn't played anyone since that Bama game. I mean, they play Virginia Friday night game this week. So I think that's an interesting test there, seeing what they've played so far comparatively. But yeah, Dustin Morrison here votes on when Napier will be fired. We'll discuss that later on in the show here when we get to that segment. And Juan Manuel, hey, do y'all have a G5 Billy money problems?
Scared money don't make money.
What is G5 Billy hiding at this moment? What has Scott Strickland done that Billy knows about that we don't? I feel like we already know about all the ghosts and
yeah, I was going to say Scott Strickland's controversies have played out in a pretty public fashion, and it hasn't really made a difference on his employment status. So,
yeah. Okay. Let's see. Is there any game I'm missing before we get to the main event? Is there any games you can think of at the top of your head before we get to the Oregon Penn State game?
Honestly, I mean, should we given the schedule a look? I haven't really even given the schedule a look yet.
Should we talk about Tennessee at Mississippi State?
I mean, we can. I think look, Mississippi State, I think, is not awful. I think they're pretty clearly not awful like they were. I mean, they've doubled their win total already from last year.
Mississippi State. It is at Mississippi State. So
cowbell, got to deal with Joey Aguilar. Got to deal with the cowbell.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking Tennessee. Probably, yeah, I think we both. I'm on Tennessee too, but I'm intrigued. Like, I think if you can just not give up 450 passing yards to that team, I'm curious if you can compete, because I think their defense, again, like we said, maybe a little suspect.
All right, here's a game: Auburn at Texas A&M. I think this is interesting because A&M now ranked 9th in the AP poll. They beat this game, then A&M will be ranked inside the top 10 when we play them. I mean, they go to because I mean, Mississippi State's actually better than I suspected, but I mean, I think they'll still be able to beat Mississippi State, but easily enough to where I can say it with confidence. But if they beat Auburn, they're going to be at that top 10 spot when we play them. But I still have insane worries about this Texas A&M defense. I mean, they gave up 40 points to Notre Dame in that game. They had a bye week, but they've given up 24 to UTSA. Now, I'm pretty sure UTSA's running back just went for like 220 yards in their previous game, and he went for like 150 on A&M, and he probably leads the nation in rushing from the numbers I've seen so far. So maybe he's actually just a beast. But give 22 to Utah State as well, 40 Notre Dame. I mean, we saw Miami's defense really until the fourth quarter shut down that Notre Dame offense. So I have genuine concerns about the Texas A&M defense, especially. You know who has to try to stop Jackson Arnold running the ball?
Scooby
Williams, who might be the worst linebacker in the country at stopping the QB run. I say that with experience of watching him try to stop QB runs. But honestly, I thought I was going to pick. Is that Texas A&M revenge game? What was it? Was this 4 overtimes last year?
3 or 4, yeah.
Auburn got the upset victory. A&M's going to A&M. I'm going to take Auburn here.
Okay. I think Auburn's a pretty good team. Like, I don't really nothing really changed in how I view Auburn after that game against Oklahoma yesterday. No. But the problem is some of the negative things didn't change either. Like, my big question going into that game was they're not going to let Jackson Arnold just run all over you. It's a well-coached defense. Can he win the game through the air? The answer was not really. I thought he missed some throws. I don't think he was awful by any means, but I don't think he was great either. So more friendly defensive matchup here. I actually think Oklahoma kind of has some issues offensively outside of John Napier. Like, I think Natier's really fun, but like he just kind of has to create everything himself. I think A&M can do way more with like Le'Veon Moss and obviously Marcel Reed, what he brings in the run game. Like, I think this is going to be pretty high scoring because I think Jackson Arnold will run on this team. Like you said, I think they're going to have issues at the linebacker level stopping that. I just kind of think A&M is the team. Yeah, some Scooby issues to worry about. But, like, I still think I don't know. I kind of feel like if this gets into a shootout, A&M's the one I kind of trust to kind of keep pounding it and score enough points.
Yeah, that's a fair point there. I kind of just A&M's going to finish 8-4.
Yeah.
So I got to get to that.
It's preordained. Yeah.
So this is the loss that they're going to have that not many people suspect.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do one more game before we get to Penn State, Oregon. Maybe this is an interesting one. It's on Peacock, so that's fun. Number 11, Indiana at Iowa. So did you see Iowa put up 38 on Friday night against Rutgers?
And they still did it with Gronowski throwing for like 120 yards, which is fantastic.
I just feel like this is like the perfect letdown spot.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you're both probably going to pick Indiana here.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is going to be a close game. Like, Iowa's defense is going to frustrate them. And, I mean, they gave up 28 to Rutgers, so maybe that defense isn't. I mean, I've said it earlier.
Rutgers actually surprisingly really highly ranked passing offense right now.
Oh, yeah, their passing offense has been great.
Yeah. But Indiana's is arguably the best right now.
I won't even put these because we're both just taking Indiana. I thought it was more interesting than I started talking about it. So we'll get into the game of the night here.
Yeah.
Number 6, Oregon at number 3, Penn State. Also on Peacock, but also on NBC. So it gets both up. My friends who I went to the Miami game with, their uncle from Oregon, they were Oregon fans too. So they're actually going to this game. So that's awesome for them. I mean, going to Happy Valley for a whiteout game. That's like a top of the bucket list type of thing. So that's really cool for them. And I think we talked about it actually last night or last week where Drew Aller's passing stats or numbers, his QBR would be higher if he literally spiked the ball every play.
Yeah.
He has not looked good. He has not looked great. He's not looked good at all. I mean, 46-11 over Nevada. I mean, 34-0 over FIU. That FIU game, I'm pretty sure was 10-0 at halftime. Yeah, 10-0 at halftime. So they were able to run it up in the second half, and then 52-6 over Villanova. I mean, maybe they've just been saving everything for this game. Very possible. I like this Oregon team a lot. I think Dante Moore has played great. I think their running backs with Mekhi, they've been saving Mekhi Hughes. He hasn't played that much so far. I think they've been saving him for this game here. I think he's going to be really good. Malik Benson's actually not bad. I mean, he started at Bama, and his QB was Jalen Milroe and did nothing. Went to FSU. His QB was DJ Uiagalelei, did nothing. So now at Oregon, and this whole time, we've kind of just been like, yeah, he sucks. And I remember when he transferred there, my friend, he's like, Malik Benson transferred to Oregon. He's like so upset, especially because it was like right after we flipped Dallas Wilson and everything, and he was freaking out. But now Benson's actually been good, and DeCarrion Moore has looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
And this defense, I mean, I don't think they've played a competent offense yet, but I mean, they've done what they should be doing on defense to everyone. I mean, 7 points to Oregon State, 14 to Northwestern, 3 to Oklahoma State, 13 months. Like, they've been playing good defense, and I don't know if I trust this Penn State offense at all. I honestly think their running back duo might be the most overrated in the country. I think they feed them a ton of. I think they get fed a lot. Like I know the scout I was talking about Ruben Bain saying he might be the best player in the country. He's been really low on Nicholas. I mean, he's probably around the consensus for Katron Allen, but like he's really low in Singleton as well. And I don't think the offensive line is as good as people think. So like, I'm gonna go Oregon here in this game.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think like I've been big on this Penn State team. Like I've been a big Penn State defender for a couple years now. Really like Drew Aller defender, Penn State defender. I might just have to kind of admit that I misread that situation a little bit. I mean, we'll see. They haven't played anyone yet. It hasn't been great, but it's also never been like in doubt. So I don't want to like over read into that too much, just because this kind of has been their MO in these games. Like I feel like the last 3 years they've gone the first month and a half without playing anyone, it feels like, and then they finally do and things look a little different. But yeah, it just hasn't been great. And like Oregon has just looked incredible. I mean, aside from maybe like a bit of a sluggish middle of the game against Northwestern and like a little bit of a slow start on Saturday against Oregon State, like they look really well rounded. I mean, it's just hard not to. I mean, they haven't really been tested either but like it's hard not to say that they look like the better team right now.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And Oregon, I was low on them. I had them missing the playoffs going into the year, but now, I mean, you said Georgia might be your title favorites. I think Oregon might be my title favorites right now.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to like. I kind of just need to see Dan Lanning actually win something before I can like have confidence. Like I'm not.
He
even
won the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, okay, that's true. No, it's just like I like Dan Lanning a lot, and if he wanted to come to Gainesville, Florida, I would absolutely sign up in a heartbeat. But I do think like, you know, it's hard for me to be like I think they're going to win the national championship when they just got absolutely embarrassed in their playoff game last year.
Yep. All right. So we got our predictions done. Sam here. This is actually an interesting comment. I guess they're trying to keep it low profile about Billy. I wonder if he actually does get fired tomorrow. You mentioned it that last year there were all these rumors swirling around. This year there's like nothing.
Nothing.
There is nothing. I wonder if that does mean something. Like it probably doesn't, but I wonder.
I certainly don't think it's bad. Like I don't think no news is bad news here. I mean, I think if anything, if they are moving toward firing him and you're not hearing leaks, that shows they're running a bit tighter of an operation. So I guess that's a good thing. But I just, the timing is weird. I don't really know why you would do it tomorrow. Like these are typically Sunday decisions. They pretty much always have been.
Yeah, Dan Mullen was fired on a Sunday.
Mullen was a Sunday. Muschamp was a Sunday morning. I remember that vividly. McElwain, I think, was actually Saturday night. They might have. I think it started leaking Saturday night, and they announced it Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But so point being, like letting it go to Monday is kind of weird because that's when they do the presser. So they'd have to like name an interim, have him do presser same day. I don't know. That seems weird to me. Like that seems weird. I have assumed when we hit about 1 p.m. today and no Pete Thamel tweet came out, I assumed we're getting at least another week of it.
Yeah. It says Sunday, but it might have been leaked or something like that.
I think I remember hearing that it was probably going to happen because it was the night of the Georgia game. I think you're right. I think it officially was announced the next day, but like I think they were widely reporting it because I remember like getting home from the game and it was already getting reported.
Something else I'll say about DJ Lagway and players opting out. DJ Lagway is going to play until at least the A&M game because he wants to go and play in front of his home and family and everything like that. And College Station, I mean, Texas A&M is basically the home team from where he's from, like 30, 40 minutes away. So from Willis. So that's the game that I was told if he's going to opt out. So he's not redshirting at all. If he were to opt out for the season, it would be after the A&M game.
I really don't expect the DJ is going to opt out. Maybe it'd be in Florida's best interest if he did, but I don't. Yeah. But I don't really see that happening. To be honest with you, that would kind of surprise me. I don't know. That just doesn't seem like for all the negatives about DJ, that doesn't really seem like an element of his character to me personally. I mean, I could be wrong. Could totally be wrong. And again, if he does, I wouldn't even blame him. But that would surprise me a little bit.
Yeah, but hey, we will be right back after this break.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the Florida Gators Live here. Sam left a comment. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to beat Texas, but I don't want Billy to have a chance to beat Texas because we will win 7 or 8 games. and he'll be back.
I don't think we need to worry about that one, Sam. I don't think this team is winning 8 games at all. I don't think they're getting close to 8 games.
This comment leads perfectly into our segment here.
Yeah, it really does. Thank you for the
How will the rest of Florida season go? That comment wasn't planted.
Yeah, well, he's not a plant. Yeah.
No, shout out Sam there, but how will the rest of Florida's season go? So we're currently 1-3. Now, last year we had that miraculous turnaround beating Ole Miss and LSU and then, FSU and Tulane, but we had a spark. We had a new energy when DJ Lagway came in and started lighting things up. We both mentioned the highlight reels from last year going around on Twitter of DJ Lagway. And that's how Billy was able to get his turnaround. We don't have another DJ Lagway in our back pocket.
Nope.
I mean, there's been people who said Tramel Jones is their QB, but it was against LIU, guys. Come on.
Even if he's an upgrade, he's not gonna even if he comes in and plays well and you win an extra game or two because of it, that should not dictate anything. You know what I'm saying?
So I do get a little bit of what Sam is saying. Mr. Bassman here. The ship has sailed. This is over. I'm at the end of the season. This will be over. But I will say, I expressed my opinion on it last night. I think we could win this Texas game. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. It's going to be in the swamp. I think this is going to be a pretty good crowd. I think it would be an even better crowd if Billy was fired before it, but I still think it's going to be a really good crowd, having Texas come in and all. But, yeah, I think that will buy him until at least the Georgia game, in my opinion. I think we're going to beat Mississippi State. Yeah. I think they're better than they were last year, but I still think we're going to be able to beat Mississippi State. So beat Texas, beat Miss State, lose to A&M. Maybe we get trounced by A&M, and that's enough to get Billy fired. But I think if we beat Texas, I think Billy will last until the Georgia game, and I think there might be a boat racing in Georgia or in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Finding a way to win this game at home would be the most Billy Napier thing ever. He does seem to win one of these games at home every year. He seems to find a way to do it. I don't really see it personally with the Texas game. I think the way I look at the way the season's going to play out, it's because I think it could break really bad. I think 2-10 totally on the table. 3-9, maybe more likely than not. Honestly, 3-9, which is crazy to say. It's crazy to say, but I my kind of question, whether it's going to be that bad or just a 5-7, maybe you get extremely lucky and push for 6-6, is the question I have is, realistically speaking, how much longer can you put out offensive football that isn't credible in the slightest before the defense stops doing this? Because, it's hard for me to believe you're just going to keep getting this performance week in and week out from the defense if the offense is just giving them absolutely nothing. If that doesn't happen to a considerable degree, I'm almost certain I would almost certainly bet they win one of these games that would be deemed a pretty big upset. Just because that's Billy Napier football. That's the Billy Napier experience. It's keep every game close and hope you get lucky and everything goes right and you win one of them. And he probably will if the team hasn't completely quit on him at this point.
Is Texas a game? I don't know what the spread will be, but by AP ranking, it would be considered a pretty heavy upset, but should it be?
I think you are way conflating Texas's problems with ours, to be perfectly honest with you.
I don't think I am. I think Arch is really bad.
You're okay, but Arch is still bad throwing for 4 touchdowns. We've scored 3 all year against FBS opponents.
Yeah, I still think I think it's going to be a very low scoring game, and unless the defense just gives out, even then it's I don't think I'm deflated, or I don't think I'm degrading how Texas has looked, but exactly.
They still played Texas, Ohio State very tough on the road.
Yeah, their defense is really good. Their defense is really good, but that offense, this is going to be an Iowa Minnesota type of game. Although Iowa just put up 38 points, but that's a fluke. for me. But
I think they can just run the ball, to be honest with you. I think they might just be able to run the ball because
I don't
Miami
think
could.
That well.
You don't think they'll?
I think their offensive line is significantly worse than Miami's.
Maybe. I mean, again, I'm like, can you get this from the defense again, man? They've given it to you 3 weeks in a row.
I think you can against Texas,
and you've given them 3 losses in a row. Maybe. I mean, at some point that dam's gonna break. I mean, you're not gonna do. Look, if you're 2-9 going into FSU, you're not gonna get this level of effort from the defense. So,
hey, that's a rivalry game.
With interim
I think
coach,
we will get that from the defense.
With interim coach Billy Gonzalez leading us to victory.
We actually called up Greg Knox.
That's been our joke with my friends. We're like, can we just hire? He's got a job that's called something like director of leadership in sports at Mississippi State. He's got like one of those kind of made up, be a hype guy job. I don't want to say made up. That's probably not fair, but you know what I'm saying.
Troy, we haven't sent a plane anywhere. We're still paying a head coach currently. Another coach will accept the job.
Let's just use this as a PSA. Guys, please don't fall for flight tracking stuff in September. I'm not saying this to you specifically, Troy. Like just a general PSA. Like if you see anything that's like UAA plane, even if that's real and not fake, I guarantee you we're not meeting in person with coaches right now.
I'm pretty sure the plane is actually in Chicago today. So
yeah, well, they were just trying to say Chicago is like kind of close to South Bend. That was.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. I mean,
that's was trying to make.
Yeah, I know it's actually in Chicago though. So
I'll also say like meeting with head coaches in person is kind of. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but like this stuff happens on Zoom.
Zoom?
Like, this is like yeah. This is like you don't fly a plane, you don't fly the private jet to have a first conference. Yeah, exactly.
No rat.
You're not taking the UAA jet to like touch base with Marcus Freeman, I guess is what I'm getting at. That's not.
I know it's only week 4, but you interested in the job? I just flew all the way halfway across the country to come check.
Now, granted, are those conversations happening in back channels right now between representatives of yeah, almost certainly. I mean, if
the plane's going to Nashville, Tennessee, that's where Sexton is. Then that's maybe an important flight, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's also contract talk. Like it's Jimmy Sexton. So although
that's part of the reason
Lane Kiffin isn't represented by Jimmy Sexton.
I mean, that's part of the reason too. Like, I'm not saying like, I still think you should fire Billy today. Like, I think Billy should have been fired today. But part of the reason I'm not like, what are they doing is because I don't think you gain like a significant market advantage by going to market early. Like, I mean, especially because
the best coaching job available this offseason.
Maybe depends on how depends. I mean, we'll see what happens at Alabama. We'll see what happens at USC. We'll see what happens. Which that might not.
USC job is not opening up. That buyout for Lincoln Riley. USC has a floor that's going to be like 7-5.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I doubt it. I'm just saying. Like, I think you're right, but like crazy things happen. You don't know.
So,
but Kirby leaves. Kirby becomes the Falcons coach. Something could happen.
Okay. maybe Ryan Day takes the Florida job. So now Ohio State's the biggest job opening on the market.
Now, but the point I'm making is that like you don't the pool that Florida's going to be hiring from, at least should be, are sitting head coaches who have at least a semi-reasonable shot at being a playoff team as we sit here in late September. So you're not going to like what? Yeah,
or Will Stein.
Yeah, but like even Will Stein is focused on trying to win a national championship at Oregon. Like you're not getting a guy who would agree in principle.
John Gruden.
Yeah, the Gruden thing is crazy. I have no idea where that comes from, especially after like watching Belichick. I mean, I'm not saying that's a 1-to-1, but like, man.
I mean, Gruden's probably a better offensive mind, at least.
Yeah.
Well, he is a better offensive mind.
Probably will. I mean, this will probably work out where it happens on a Sunday and we don't have to do an emergency podcast. Mm-hmm. But if they were to do it midweek, I'm sure we'll do something along those lines.
Yeah. Maybe we'll pop the bottles and celebrate.
Yeah, there you go. Buying that Billy Napier champagne. Coach Ed Orgeron. No, but I could see that at UCLA. That would not shock me if UCLA pulled that move. I could see that happening.
Yeah, I think that would be an interesting move there. But if we're focused here on how Florida season will go. What would you say the ceiling is right now?
I think I literally need to pull up the schedule because, like, just to like think this through. I mean, I'll say 5-7, but like that seems really dubious to me that you could even get to there. Like, I think if I were a betting man and you offered me over under 4.5, I'm taking that under. Like, I just like you would have to win a lot of games. It's just like when you look at the schedule, it's like let's just say we win Kentucky and Mississippi State relatively easily. We're a lot more talented than them. Maybe that's the game where things like go well. Those are the games where things like actually go well. That's 3 wins. You got to get where you're getting 2 more, let alone 3 to get to bowl eligibility.
Well, I mean, Tennessee doesn't win in Gainesville.
I think that's gonna get put to the test.
This is historically accurate data. Come on.
You really got to start believing in sports superstitions if they can't get it done this year. Because, like, golly, I mean, if they can't do it, and to probably an interim head coach by that point in the season.
Gus isn't good against Florida. That's 5 right there.
Is that what's that, like a 1-game sample size? How many
2
times
games.
did Gus even play? Oh, I forgot about
Auburn
UCF.
2019.
I wasn't thinking about. I was forgetting UCF last year.
So that's 5 right there. So no, sorry, that's and then Texas. That's 6.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can, like, it's one of those things where there's no game that, like, I'm going to sit here and other than maybe Georgia, there's no game I'm going to sit here and tell you that I think there's absolutely no chance, because that's just the nature of Billy Napier football. There's been how many games during Billy's tenure have there been, like, no chance from the start? Like, I struggle to think of them. Even the bad losses were never
like Georgia. Like,
which time? Because the last 2 years, it's been semi-competitive.
The last 2 years? No. I mean, 2 years ago.
I remember the first half in 2023. I'm talking about, like, Billy Napier hasn't really had, like, a 42-3 beatdown. I guess Miami last year.
Sorry. I thought you meant, like, going into the game. Did we have any chance of winning?
No. I'm saying ones where, like, you could just tell from the moment the ball was kicked, like, this is not happening for Florida. Miami last year is really the only one that comes to mind. I mean, maybe you throw A&M last year in there too, but, like, point I'm trying to make is, like, Billy's bad games still are not just, like, getting beat by 5 touchdowns. So, like, every game I expect to be in to an extent. So there's none of these games where I'm like, there's no chance except for maybe Georgia. But it's like, you're really going to stack 5 of these together just to get to a bowl? Like, this looks really bleak, man. I mean, I think 1-11 is as likely as 6-6, to be perfectly honest with you.
I think that's a valid take, although, because I mean, we're not going 1-11, we're not going 6-6 here.
I think both of them are pretty unlikely, but I think 3-9 is a lot more likely than 6-6.
So we'll say 5-7 is our ceiling, and
that's
I think. What are we gonna say? 2-10 is our floor.
Yeah, because you're gonna win one. Like, you're gonna win one of those 2 at the very least. You're gonna win one of those 2.
Yeah.
Mississippi State,
so
Kentucky.
We'll say 4-8 is about what we go.
Yeah, I'd probably guess 4-8.
I'd
guess 4-8. I say we win those 2 and probably steal a random one that you're not expecting.
It's gonna be Ole Miss. It's 100% gonna be Ole Miss. I guarantee
that'd be
it.
So funny. I mean, I don't want that because I want to hire Lane, and I don't want Lane going 0-2 against Billy Napier to be the reason that can't happen. But man, because I'd be hard to hire Lane if he's 0-2 against Billy Napier. Or I guess it probably wouldn't be Billy Napier. It'd be 0-1 against Ron Roberts or whatever.
Jabbar Luke's gonna slap him before the game.
Yeah. Oh man.
No, we're gonna go 5-7, and UF will get a bowl.
APR,
and then we hire the interim.
Are we champions off the field? Are our academic progress rate scores that high? High enough to get a 5-7
the culture, man.
That's the journey. I mean, that's what he's talking about, the journey.
Texas and Florida is going to be like battle of the backups. Before the season, if you remember, I was saying, imagine Harrison Bailey for Florida versus Jacob Zeno at Texas A&M. I don't know if you remember that, but I was saying that
vaguely do remember
matchup.
that. Yeah.
And that would be the funniest QB matchup for a Florida versus Texas A&M game.
Yeah.
That's possible. And I don't think we're going to get that now. I mean, Bailey doesn't even look to be the third string quarterback.
Bailey is like not even. Bailey's like in the I've already forgot his name. Clay Millen. He's kind of in the Clay Millen. He's in like the Clay Millen
Millen's still on the roster.
Now.
I wonder if Clay Millen's now above Bailey.
Has Clay Millen even like set? Is he like Does he practice? Like, is he with the team?
Clay Millen exist?
That's has Clay Millen set foot in Gainesville, Florida in the last 2 years? Like, these are genuine questions I have.
Yeah, I don't even think we can answer them, but yeah. So I think it's pretty clear here that I do think it'll be interesting if maybe there's a chance we fire Billy before this Texas game. It seems unlikely, but maybe we do. But if we do, especially if we go out and beat Texas with the new play calling, everything like that, do you think the ceiling could rise a bit?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you beat
do you think
Texas,
it could go up to 6-6?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, like, because if you win that game, if you can win, I still think highly enough of Texas that, like, if you win that game, there's no reason to think you couldn't steal an Ole Miss or a Texas A&M or a Tennessee. It's just, it's still hard for me because it's like, I know they're not going to string those wins together. That's the thing. Like, there's no consistency. So I know they're not going to win them all. They're not going to win. They're not going to reel off 4 out of 5. Like, I know that's not going to happen. So that's the tough part. But like, I mean, sure, you could find a way to do it. Oh man, if that's enough to stick around at 6-6, I don't think so.
Oh, I said Billy fired.
Was that?
I said Billy's fired, and the new play calling.
Oh! I thought you were saying if you beat. Oh, sorry, you're saying if he gets fired tomorrow or something. Oh.
Yeah, if he gets fired somehow.
Yeah. If you go in with an interim against Texas on Saturday, and like whether it's with DJ or Trammell or whatever, if you find some way to get a semblance of offensive success, then like all bets are off because you have a good defense, and that if you don't hemorrhage guys to the portal, which is obviously a concern. But assuming that doesn't happen, like maybe the ceiling rises beyond 6. I don't know, but I mean
9-3.
I doubt it really does because I don't think an interim is changing things that much. But I mean, I do genuinely think so low of Billy's offense that I have a hard time believing Russ Callaway couldn't at least do some things to make it better. Yeah,
absolutely there. But yeah, so it seems like our ceiling and floor here is going to be 2-10 at the floor, and 5-7 as the ceiling. Which even the people that were lowest on Florida going into the year, we're saying 6-6, 7-5 for the floor.
What was the preseason win total? 5.5, 6.5,
7.5.
It was 7.5. It was that high. I thought it was even lower than that, to be honest with you.
I think it opened at 6.5, but it pretty quickly moved up to 7.5.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, sadly not a good outlook for the rest of the season. But hey, maybe we can turn it to success later on. Adam, the sports guy, hats off to Florida's defense. Absolutely legit. Heads up, you guys. Stay healthy and win out after you fire Billy Napier. That's what I'm saying. 9-3.
Yeah, there we go, Adam. God, if like that'd be so funny if they like somehow made the playoff with an interim, because you can't there's no one on this staff you can give the full-time job. It'd be kind of awkward, but that's not going to happen. So
yeah, it's not Ron Roberts. Steve Spurrier Jr.
Yeah,
there would be there. I mean, depending on how this stuff plays out, Steve Spurrier Jr. Maybe he becomes a name that's bigger on the field or something like that. Yeah. Maybe he's the name. Imagine he's making him interim head coach. Like, if that's not happening, but like that would be pretty funny.
That would be pretty funny.
I mean, we just need Steve Spurrier to be the interim. I mean, we talked about last
night.
I
would love to see it. I would love to see that. I mean, he's way older than Bob Stoops, but I would still love to see it. It'd be awesome.
I mean, he coached under. Bob Stoops coached under Spurrier, right?
Yeah, remember that, right?
Yeah,
the DC on the 96 team. The 96.
That's why every time during when we hired McElwain and when we hired Mullen, it was like, yo, Bob Stoops is the number one target.
Urban. He was a big name. So actually, they tried to hire him. anyone who's a little older than me and remembers this a bit better can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain when they hired Zook, the first choices you said no were Mike Shanahan and Bob Stoops. And so they both turned it down and they hired Zook. I'm fairly certain that's how that search played out. Yeah. Stoops' name has come up in every single Florida coaching search for 25 years.
Until the Napier hire.
Oh no, it came up. Oh, I mean, it came up in the sense that like people would put it on lists. Like if you Google Florida head coaching hot board.
Napier was hired like right away. Like it was obvious from day one that Napier was coming to Florida. Like when we fired Mullen, it was obvious it was happening. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that was ever a legitimate target. Cause like it may have been back when we fired Mullen or when we fired McElwain. It may have been when we fired Muschamp, but it definitely wasn't when we hired Napier.
Yeah.
Maybe it's taking longer and more low-key firing. Strickland will not be fired.
Strickland's got security. He just signed that contract.
We have basketball, baseball, softball, and like every other sport besides like women's basketball is very highly touted. Basically.
I feel like baseball and softball have dropped off a little bit, and also he didn't hire either of those coaches. I mean, honestly, like every hire Strickland's had to make except basketball has been pretty poor. I mean, soccer program's gotten worse. Trying to remember what other hires.
He's kept the good coaches. I mean,
he's maintained. Yeah, he's maintained for the most part the programs. I mean, women's basketball. I mean, the women's basketball and soccer, like there's the scandals. There's the fact that they're just not very good. But I mean, I think. Strickland, in spite of that, they just gave him basically a lifetime extension. So,
and I've been told pretty confidently that Strickland is not. There's multiple parties who will be involved in this hire. Yeah. Like Strickland's kind of the only thing that keeping people from saying that Lane's like a lock to Florida, but it's also like there's 3 other names I know of that will be heavily involved in this process.
Yeah, I have a feeling, and this isn't based on any insight, like any information or anything. I just have a feeling that this will be call it a booster-led search, just given the fact that it would be football hire number 3 for Scott Strickland. Like, in spite of him having the job, I can't imagine he's just got like carte blanche when it comes to the football program. Like, I gotta think there's an element of like, okay, Scott, like you've had 2 cracks at this, it hasn't worked out. Like, we're gonna kind of oversee this one a little bit.
Yeah. So, where was it? I just read something here. Shane Matthews said Lane is the only hire and the new era Steve Spurrier.
I like that comparison. Yeah. I think that's a pretty apt comparison. Like whether you like Lane or not, he would be a very Spurrier-esque figure, both, on-field style, off-field style. He's a troll. And I think
Steve Spurrier throwing alley-oops to his players on the sidelines.
I think he would be if he was coaching. If Steve Spurrier was a coach in 2025, I think he would be. I think the thing with Lane is like the trolling. I think that kind of thing would wear pretty thin if you're losing, but he hasn't done a ton of losing. He hasn't done a ton of losing. So, I'm
only to Florida.
Only to Florida.
No, but all right, let's get into our final segment here. This is kind of the moment we've been waiting for. We've had to ask here, but there are no more chances for Billy. Obviously, if he wins out, he'll keep his job. That's assuming he's getting to the Texas game, which it seems pretty likely by this point that he will be coaching for the Texas game. But there's just no more chances for Billy. I know I'm a little low. I'm lower on Texas than you are at this point, and I think that's a way more winnable game than what you and maybe others realize. But even with that, I think we could beat Texas and then get boat raced by A&M, because I think A&M's offense, like it looks pretty good with Marcel Reed and everything else. And I know our defense I trust a bit, but like if Carson Beck could run, Miami's probably up by 3 scores at halftime, 3 or 4 scores at halftime.
How about if Miami just didn't make Carson Beck throw the ball? If they had just kept running the ball, like they were running the ball at will. For the most part.
Yeah.
The defense played pretty well, all things considered, but like, I don't know why they took the ball out of Mark Fletcher's hands, like at any point in that game.
The defense got stops when it had to.
Yeah. But a lot of those stops were because Beck was like missing easy throws. And like, I mean, he did not look very good.
No,
it was a very Carson Beck-esque. I saw a Georgia fan tweet the video where like he throws like a fastball. It's like a little high, but the guy should have caught it still. And it goes through his hands and almost gets intercepted. And he was like, it's just like it's like watching Georgia last year. Like, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Carson Beck is largely the same player, just in a conference and system that's a little, I mean, he's in an air raid-esque system right now. So, you know, that's definitely going to be more quarterback friendly than what Georgia runs.
Yeah, but I mean, Brian right here, he'll probably get fired before Georgia game on the next bye week. I think that's a pretty likely scenario to happen, especially because there's a legit scenario where, it kind of sucks that we get Mississippi State after the Texas and Texas A&M game, because I think we could lose both of those games. I could think A&M game could be a blowout, but then he beats A&M and they give him the Georgia game, and I think we could get embarrassed in that Georgia game, like more so than the Texas, and not the same as the A&M game there. But I kind of wish we played Mississippi State before the Texas A&M game, because I think an embarrassing game before the Georgia game would probably be enough for them to be like, okay, no chances here.
Kind of weird to fire him after a win, but it does happen. Coaches get fired after wins. It does happen.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Okay, yeah. After the
I assumed is your point not that you could lose those two games ugly, but then win Mississippi State ahead of the bye?
Yeah, that was my point.
It's like,
I was
what
processing.
Do you do now? Yeah.
I was just processing, meant to verbally what you were saying, but yeah, because I don't, maybe they could fire. I mean, I think if we get blown out by Texas, or if we just lose to Texas in a pretty substantial way, like the offense just comes out and sucks like it did again against Miami, I think there's a chance he could get fired after that. But like, I don't think he'll get fired until the bye week, especially if we play a close game with Texas.
So that kind of leads me to something I wanted to bring up, which is like, I understand it, but I don't really know why people are like acting like it's like a law that you have to fire him ahead of a bye week.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Look, within this specific circumstance, it would definitely be ideal, because firing Billy Napier means you're also changing play caller. So having an extra week to do installs, especially with a guy like Russ who might change things up a little bit, that would make a lot of sense. But like, look, if you go out and you lose by 3+ touchdowns in the swamp again on Saturday,
he's done.
There's
a 0% chance he makes it to
the like game. He's just not. I think they'll be like, man, we would have rather done this ahead of a bye. But I mean, what do you just let him? I mean, literally, like, what do you have to like let him go 1-5, 2-6? Like, at what, or 2-5? Like, at what point? Yeah, I don't know. It just, I don't really think. I think people might be putting a little too much into like, how does this work with the format and the function of the bye weeks? Like, that might not just matter. I think it might just take one of these games getting just a little bit more ugly than last night got.
Because it got to a point in that Miami game, Miami's first drive, when they got that 4th and 1 and they got the touchdown, I literally put in a chat, okay, Billy's gone.
Yeah.
And then it got overturned, and then we had some momentum. I genuinely think if Miami gets that touchdown, I don't think we would have scored. I genuinely think Billy probably would have been fired by now.
It's weird though to me, because like I'm not even disagreeing with you. I think there's a decent chance you're right. But if that's the case, like, that just doesn't really make any sense to me, because it's like the margin wasn't the problem. Like, this game could have been 2 scores closer. The fact of the matter is the problem was you had 141 yards of offense, 0 of 13. So like, we said last night, I said I was leaning towards, I thought he would stay this week. And the reason, I felt that way, but like the reason I was like, I don't know, was just because of how embarrassingly bad that offensive performance was. And like, just how offense at Florida kind of means something a little different than it does like everywhere else. I mean, we've seen three coaches get fired because they couldn't, or soon to be 3 coaches get fired because they couldn't handle it get consistently successful offense. So I thought that might have just been so embarrassingly bad that like you have to do something about it. Obviously not. I shouldn't. I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, something could happen tomorrow. That would surprise me. I really don't think that's going to happen, but I guess it's possible.
There is no press conference tomorrow, which I'm pretty sure is because of the bye week.
The bye, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if that's something if that's an every year thing or.
I think it is. I think he'll do one. Like I don't think we won't hear from him again until a week from tomorrow.
Oh, he'll talk Wednesday. They have the thing Wednesday.
Oh, the coach's teleconference. Yeah, it's true. I meant like in person, but yeah, that's a good point. They have the teleconference.
I just need someone to go off the rails and ask him just go and like asking about him being an OC, and it's like, but you look at these past games and it just kind of talk back a bit. It would be too funny.
I mean, it's just Billy, like he's been asked about this. Like he just says the same thing every time. Like, I mean, he kind of blames the player. I mean, honestly, like he kind of did that last night. He sort of blamed the player. I mean, he was like blamed it on like offensive execution and like a bunch of errors, which like, sure, but not really, because you didn't turn the ball over. Like it's not like you were turning the ball over left and right like you were the week.
Turned it over on downs.
Yeah, times. Sure, but like that's different than just like what you were doing against LSU. Like that's not errors. That's just being straight up ineffective.
Yeah, I mean, like what excuses can he come up with? I mean, what was it he said last night? I mean, no, because Billy finds a way to just go out there and have normal coach speak every single time, no matter the situation.
Well, he frames it like Billy talks after every game, like especially losses, like we're Long Island going into the swamp to play a Florida level team. You know what I'm saying? Because like losses, it's like, well, we fought really hard until the end. It's like, dog, it's year 4 at Florida. Like that doesn't matter. Like that truly doesn't matter. And yeah, it's always just framed of like, well, we were competitive. We never gave up. Like it's like, it's as if like us going to play a Miami team that we are more talented than on paper, like blue chip ratio wise, we are a more talented football team going in, getting boat raced. And like, we fought hard. And that's just the Billy MO. And it's crazy.
Yeah. that was actually earlier, but yeah, I mean, he just comes out there and there's this it's just like they don't care.
That they do because they haven't quit. Like they've never quit at any point in the last 2 seasons.
It's so weird.
It's very weird. It's a meltdown. I've never really seen a football meltdown quite like this one. Like it's really strange.
Yeah, I mean,
because you can tell when a guy has lost the locker room, and I don't think that's the case. But it doesn't matter.
No. Although, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. Shannon Snell, who's been on Twitter and everything, posting the players, they don't like Lagway now.
I mean, can you blame them?
No,
I mean,
there's a group
I'd probably be pretty frustrated as well.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Brian here. Miami has a good team. The lines of scrimmage are full of elite players. Like they held up. Like the fact that we were missing Caleb Banks and Mekhi Barrow, and it's like they ran at a very high EPA when running the ball, but we were able to get stops when it mattered. Like the fact that they were able to do that.
Well, it's also it's also like Tyreek Sapp, potential first-round pick. Austin Barber, potential first-round pick. Jake Slaughter, maybe. I mean, maybe these guys have their stock diminished. But, like, yeah, it's like we have talent, too. It's not like this is year 1 and you're dealing with, like, G5 transfers just trying to make it work. Like, that's not what this is.
No, it's not. But, yeah, I mean, I think Billy, there's, like, a 0 there's going to be people who worry, like, oh, they're not firing him yet. He's going to save his job. Someone said it in here earlier about he's going to find a way to go 8-4, like,
he will not.
I don't see it.
He simply will. I mean, legitimately.
People have said Billy's in my pocket, is in my wallet.
If he was allowed to coach the remainder of the season and finishes 5-7, I would be like, he's got to go. But man, that was a pretty impressive effort to try to save his job. Like just if you get to 5-7, that's what I would be saying.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just not happening. 8-4, 7-5, even is not happening.
No, it's not. Melissa, Billy's refusal to hire an OC is his downfall. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's. I think that's kind of it. I mean, the Lagway drama during the offseason, I think, is also a really big part of it. But like, I've seen people come out and say that, oh, look at Florida and Clemson struggling as two teams that didn't really use the transfer portal. But when you look at a roster, what places besides QB do we need to touch up? I mean, our offensive line hasn't been as good as people would have liked. You know, they could have gone and got another tackle in the transfer portal. I know we talked about it enough, but it's also like, is another tackle really helping this team at all right now? Like, is there a difference in our record with another tackle?
I don't know. And again, like, this doesn't really matter because I think the problems are way more Billy's scheme than the talent, but like not doing it at the skill positions. I mean, obviously you got Sturdivant, but even Sturdivant was like, and we were optimistic about him. And I don't think Sturdivant's like the problem or anything like that. But I mean, he is a guy who was coming off a low stock year. Like, it was a down year by his standards. I think he had some injuries too. Like, I just like, okay, so I'm watching
bad offense around him.
Yeah, 100%. Like, but point being, like, a guy who you're basing it off of prior years. He wasn't coming off at the highest, like, of his stock. And I just compare that to, like, I'm looking around watching other teams play, right? Teams that we should at least be comparable with, if not better than. And I'm watching, like, Missouri play South Carolina, watching Ahmad Hardy, this running back who was great at Louisiana Monroe last year, and he's leading their offense against South Carolina. It's just like, why is Florida not going and stealing these uber talented players from smaller schools that can come in and be instant impact? Like, that's kind of my problem. I'm not saying we should become like Ole Miss and be that portal heavy, but I'm sorry. Like, I feel like we could be gaining an edge using the portal more than we are.
Yeah. I mean, I also don't know how much we know about our receiving unit because Lagway is just our play calling and Lagway are at a point where it just doesn't even matter who the receivers are. It feels.
And that's, I mean, again, that's fair. Like, and that's part of it. But like, I'm just thinking, not even just receiving corps. It's like across the field. I think in the secondary, I think there are guys. I mean, going and getting. I mean, look, I think safety play has been kind of a problem. I think going and getting. I mean, as far as there are problems on the defense, I think that's been one of them. I think going and getting, some of the guys that, like, frankly, Florida was in the mix for and didn't end up getting would have been.
Oh, Mario Craver leads the SEC in receiving yards. That was a guy we took Tank Hawkins. And that's when we stopped pushing for Mario Craver.
Excellent.
But it's also like, are we getting Mario?
It wouldn't matter. Like, we're not getting, like, Mario Craver here would not look like Mario Craver at Texas A&M, but like still.
Yeah, it's something that's tough to get, but yeah, it's just it sucks because I feel like we have the talent. Like, we talked about it earlier. I mean, Lane Kiffin's coaching this team to the playoffs in both of our opinions. I mean, or playoff contention.
Yeah.
Someone put it in chat a little bit ago. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, Lane Kiffin will go 9-3 year one at Florida. I think he easily could go 9-3 or 10-2 in his first year here.
Especially, I mean, Dan did that, and it's way easier to flip a roster now.
Dan also had an easier schedule. Well, did
That's
he?
true.
Well,
we don't know what the schedule's going to look like next year. Yeah.
Dan year one had what? Mississippi State team in the first year under Jim Moorhead.
Yeah. Joe Moorhead. Yeah.
And that did not work out.
No. And then the non-conference games.
Best Kentucky team.
Good Kentucky team. Yeah. That was the streak ending. And then, but I mean, the non-conference games were Charleston Southern,
it was just a bad
Colorado
FSU
State,
team.
I think. Colorado State, and like,
it was just a bad FSU team.
Yeah, and then there was one more not good non-conference game that I'm blanking on, but yeah.
So our whole schedule was a great Georgia team, a good LSU team, like a top 10-ish LSU team, and
yeah.
I think Missouri was solid, and we lost to Missouri, so I'm pretty sure they were solid. Like, bottom to top 25 level, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was when Barry Odom had them, like, decent. When they were, like, not great, but they were fine.
I think that was, like, Drew Locke's last season or something.
Yeah, it was. I remember I was at that game in the Swamp. He
I was too.
Tore us apart.
But Kyle Trask came in on the final drives and actually lit like back-to-back scoring.
That was when the Kyle Trask. I had a friend who, ever since that game, was adamant that Kyle Trask was better than Felipe, and he really annoyed all of us. And it was it was awful that he was proven so right. It sucked. Had sucked how right he ended up being.
And it's so funny because Franks ended up playing very good football after. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very limited player, but Dan is good at, look, Dan knows how to use guys. Dan, if you like have a trait that you're good at, Dan's like, I will find a way to make this successful. To his credit, that's like the one thing he does very well.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, Billy, there's just no more chances. And if you're worried about him saving himself, it's just not happening. There's so many aspects that you're gonna have to ignore to just be like, hey, look at last year. Because there's nothing coming from behind a DJ to come and save us now.
No.
Kiffin will pull Ole Miss's best players. Who are some players from Ole Miss's team this year that we would want to bring to this team?
I mean, I guess we'll see what I mean, you would think, if this is hilarious, but you would think that there's a decent chance, if things end up being okay working out with Austin Simmons, that he would probably want
I don't think that's no.
You don't think that's a possibility? Is it just because of the prior relationship between
Austin and I don't think Austin Simmons is good.
I mean, maybe not, but I'm saying like if I think, or maybe I don't know if Chambliss has eligibility still.
He's a senior.
He is, okay. I guess what I was more saying, if Austin Simmons does finish the year as the starter and he's good, you would think Lane might just try to bring him. But
yes,
yeah, I think he would.
Yeah, but
and frankly, like I think other than Alabama, which I think is his true dream job that he's never going to get, they're never going to hire him.
Nope.
I think his real dream jobs are Florida and Miami. I think he wants to be in the state of Florida badly.
Yep, and Mario is going to be the guy at Miami for a long time.
Yeah, I think Mario is pretty entrenched there. No, yeah, I'm not like, we're not being like dismissive. Yes. It's just like sorry, I'm responding to the latest.
No, I got you.
Yeah. No, I think, I mean, I'm not saying it's like a given, but I think he's reached his ceiling at Ole Miss. I mean, maybe not because they haven't made the playoff yet, and they certainly could, but I don't think, do you think he's going to ever be able to build a national championship contender there? Like a real, not a team that, like, he could build a team that could get to the semis or something, but do you think he could build a team that can win a national title at Ole Miss?
I think he did, or I think he did last year.
I mean, I think that team would have gotten rocked by Ohio State, even playing at its best.
I agree with that, but it's also like, do we have another Ohio State this season? As of now, I don't think so.
Maybe not.
I think that Ole Miss team, and also Ohio State wasn't that at all during the regular season.
I guess I was always in on that team and I never quit them. So I kind of feel like I still thought they were pretty good throughout the year, but they definitely showed it more at the end. They had that close game against
Nebraska. They lost to Michigan.
Yeah.
That Ohio State team was like, it was not the same team that we saw in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't. They hit another gear. But I'm just saying, I always felt like that Ole Miss team
pretty good.
I just like watched the way they lost to LSU, and I just kind of felt like that Ole Miss team was like always a step behind, like the best of the best. Like there was just a limiting factors there.
And it's weird because it was the offense. Because the defense was phenomenal. I mean, that was debatably the best defense like throughout the whole season.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart was just prone to bouts of just being kind of dumb, honestly, at times. I mean, like
the offense was just stall.
Yeah.
But going back to that question, who are the players? I think Caleb Cunningham, the former 5-star. I don't know if he's really played all his freshman year, but I think that'll be a cool one to try to bring over to Florida. I know people would get upset and it would suck. Jaden Ball, I don't know how much he's attached to Florida. He's from Georgia, so I know that might be a factor in things, but I don't think Lane Kiffin would go out there and overpay for a running back like Jaden Ball. Plus, he has a good one in Kawan Lacey right now that I think he could also bring over here. So I would love for us to get Ball and for him to return, and if it's under Lane Kiffin, that'll be even better. But I don't think I don't think a smart roster management is paying a running back an obscene amount to stay. Although maybe we'll get him for a good price and he does return. But I think Ball could get scooped up by somebody.
Although, maybe Lane did learn his lesson because they made the choice not to pay Quinshon Judkins last year, and their run game certainly struggled as a result of that. They thought.
Well, I think Kawan Lacey. That was my point. Kawan Lacey is good enough to.
I mean, if you're just bringing Lacey, then sure. But that would still probably be a guy you'd have to pay like a decent amount of.
I don't think you have to pay him. I think Ball is.
Well, I mean, Ball's going to go somewhere that's going to put him in position to be like a first-round pick. Like, I think Ball is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, he's going to pull. I'm not saying he's going to go to Georgia, but I'm saying he's going to pull an ETN kind of move, like go somewhere where he just thinks he's going to be featured on an offense that's going to get him drafted really high. if he leaves, which I'm not saying he will.
I think I could see it being like a Bama. I know Nick Saban was really high on Ball. Like, he might put pressure on them to go and try to get him out because like he was high on him out of high school. But yeah, I mean, they've probably already made a list.
That's interesting. I think Lane's focused on winning football games at Ole Miss, to be perfectly honest.
He still is an undefeated team with a big top 5 matchup at home. I
don't think these things progress as quickly as people act like they do sometimes. Like, just like going back to like the flight tracker thing from earlier, like those conversations are not happening. Like UCLA and Virginia Tech are open. I'm sure they're putting out feelers, back channeling conversations with representatives, but they're not like interviewing guys. Like, that's just not happening in September.
Yeah, no, that's just like, unless it's someone who's not coaching, but outside of John Gruden.
They're like Ed Orgeron. Yeah, if it's like not one of those guys. Yeah. But
it's been said that Orgeron has been in Miami hanging around the Canes, and 2 of his sons were coaching. Well, Orgeron used to coach at Miami, so.
Yeah, and his kid, at least, is it 2? I knew one of his kids worked there. I didn't know it was 2. But yeah, I heard he was at the game. One of my friends who was at the game, or was it you that saw him? Was it you, or was one of my friends that told me that? Okay, yeah, one of my friends who was at the game saw him like walking out of the stadium.
I don't see Florida. Whoops. Well, okay, too much. I don't see Florida pulling an elite coach, unfortunately. I mean,
is Lane an elite coach? Yeah, like is Lane an elite coach?
I mean, he's at Ole Miss.
Is Freeman an elite coach? I mean, you're not hiring Lanning. You're not hiring who like obviously you're not hiring Kirby, but like who else? Like
before Day won the title at Ohio State, like
Day, you're not hiring Day.
But he won the title, so that's gone.
You're not hiring Day. But I mean, that's also, I mean, Ohio State is, I mean, sorry if this is unpopular. Ohio State's definitely a better job than Florida at this moment in time. Like, that's not even disputable.
Yeah, Melissa, Coach O does hang around Miami. His son is an analyst.
Mm-hmm.
And he met him at an event this weekend. So, Brian, Lane would be acceptable. I kind of read that as like a Gus Fring, like that is satisfactory.
Yeah, your terms are acceptable. I mean, like Lane, I mean, I think you could go. I think there's other hires I would be happy about, but to me, Lane is just it feels like such a no-brainer. Like
it's too much of a no-brainer at this point.
Like, it's like it fits. Like, I think that's like the Spurrier comparisons. Is like that is what Florida needs right now. Like, Florida has not had that in any of these last few hires. You know, there's kind of I mean, this is a cliche way to like talk about it, but there really is kind of a mindset that Spurrier and Urban have that the other hires Florida's made just have not really had. And I think Lane is at least the closest thing to that.
Yeah. Right here, Lane won a natty as an OC. Wasn't he fired because he was taking the FAU job?
Yeah, it was weird. He was like going to stay and coach through it anyway. And then
Saban was like
fired him and promoted Sark, just as a reminder of the little depth chart. The little depth chart that Saban had going back then was, Lane leaves for the FAU job. I guess I got to promote my analyst, Steve Sarkisian. No,
Dabo does not best fit. Stop.
Please no Dabo. Like Dabo, oh my God. I promise you this. If they hire Dabo Sweeney, I will crash out on this show. I will crash out. It will be bad. You guys will have to want to tune in for it because I'm going to absolutely crash out if they hire Dabo.
I had someone say the exact same thing in a chat, and I literally said what I'm about to say here. I kind of want to hire Dabo now so I can see the crash out.
I can't even. Oh my God. I literally don't even want to think about that. I just makes no sense. Like a dude who's like 5 years past his prime, who hasn't adapted to the new era at all.
Clemson.
I mean, and also to whatever extent he doesn't have that talent at Clemson, it's his fault. He was recruiting at a top 10 level a few years ago. Now he's not. Their class now is like 23rd.
Yeah, the recruiting has majorly fell off.
Yeah.
Like they were basically doing what Oregon's doing now, where they would recruit like 20 players, but it's like high-level players. Now they're not recruiting that many players, and it's not as many high-level players.
Also, he's like bombing every coordinator hire. I mean, Tom Allen was like about as can't miss as you can get, and we'll still see how that even works out. But I mean, Garrett Riley not aging very well. The one whose name I'm already Brandon Streeter, I think was his name. The one who they hired after Tony Elliott left, the one that they ultimately fired. Like, I mean, Billy Napier was one of his coordinator hires. Bad move, Dabo.
Bad move on the field and off the field.
I also just think one of the reasons I don't want Dabo is because I feel like Billy, when we hired him, a lot of the talk was like about him being a Saban acolyte and like kind of having the Saban mindset. I feel like personality wise, he is a lot closer to Dabo than he is to Saban. Like, I actually think I almost feel like Billy's style has been more influenced by Dabo than Saban, just from what
what did Billy bring to Florida that is influenced by Saban?
55 dudes wearing polos.
I guess. I mean,
that's what he brought.
Receiver recruiting has been really good, I guess.
I mean, with the same guy who was doing it with Dan and with Urban. Yeah.
No.
I mean, Gus Malzahn doesn't want to be a head coach. Like, he quit. Like, this isn't like a pivot to like get back into coaching somewhere. Like, this is I'm about to retire.
He was going to retire if
he
didn't take this. Yeah.
He was maybe.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah. It wouldn't be my first choice. I feel the same way about like Will Stein or Glenn Schumann.
I think Will Stein at least being Hartline, I don't think is going to come here and call plays, which could be a good thing. Maybe you don't want your coach calling your plays. Just look at college football right now. The best ones don't. But Will Stein and his offensive schemes, Will Stein's a goated offensive coordinator, so that's something that I kind of give him a little higher up. Because what is Hartline going to do? Recruit. I mean, he's going to get the best receivers in the state of Florida.
But it's like Willie.
Great.
I mean, that's a question of resources, honestly. Like, really. Like, I mean, obviously he's a great recruiter. He was a great recruiter pre-NIL and rev share, but also Ohio State kills it with NIL and rev share. Yeah. So it's hard to know like if he could really do that anywhere in this era of college football. But I would assume you would at least get a few more elite guys than you've been getting. I just think like this is like too important of a hire. Will Stein is the Oregon offensive coordinator, was previously at UTSA. He's a really good coach. I mean, he's been very successful.
Florida's answer, Curt Cignetti.
I mean, I don't look.
If we miss on our other top hires, it's interesting because
he's like a B tier option for me. But I would look if that's who it is. If that's how it ends, I'd be in.
It would be interesting because obviously, if it were to happen, I would probably back it and everything. But like, there's so many questions there.
I agree.
I mean, one,
he's answering some of them. I mean, them being good this year has answered a lot of them. But yeah,
his use of the transfer portal has been phenomenal. I mean, on Rourke and is now hitting on Fernando Mendoza. Like, he has some good players there at Indiana. Like, can he recruit? Because like, there's zero evidence to say. There's like zero evidence to even say he could or can't recruit. We have no idea because he was at division or he was FCS.
Yeah.
For his entire career, or like he was.
I mean, JMU was FBS for like his last season, but
before JMU, where was he at before JMU? It was like an FCS school or
I'm
Division II
I'm blank.
School?
He was. I'm almost positive it was FCS. I'm blanking off the top of my head where he was. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like IUPUI or something like that. So like Indiana University. It's like something like that.
He was at Elon.
Okay.
And then he was before Elon. He was only at Eon for 2 years. So IUP, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Indiana University of
Purdue. I was like, that was way too random for me to just be completely making that up. I was like, that had to have been real at some point. No, I mean, my question with Cignetti last year was, because he had a good portal class, but also a lot of those portals were just him bringing his guys from JMU. And that's a lot different. Like having a portal class is just bringing your guys is a lot different than being a good portal evaluator and recruiter. I wanted to see him do a better job of do that with some new guys. Granted, not all those JMU guys are gone. The receiver, I think in particular, is the one that's still there, but they lost a lot of the defensive guys, I'm pretty sure. And he's portaled again, new guys. I mean, Mendoza looks maybe even better than Curtis Rourke was last year.
Oh, he does. Like Mendoza is shooting up to be the number one QB in this class. I mean, it's like Sellers is going to be the guy that everyone looks at his potential, and that might make him the number one QB. I mean, a lot of QBs are struggling right now, so that's an interesting part. But like Mendoza might be like the should be guy. What about Ryan Silverfield at Memphis?
I think he's a good coach. It's just I feel the same way about him that I do about like John Summerall, which is just like it's nothing against him. It's just we've tried this before. Like the only thing Florida really hasn't done. I mean, I guess you could argue this is what the Mullen hire was, which honestly, I mean, the Mullen hire was the most successful of all the ones we've had to make. But like the one thing they haven't really done is just go hire a proven successful power conference head coach. I mean,
it's because like our Urban Meyer at Duke. I mean, I can't speak for 1989
you mean
and what happened then.
Steve Spurrier at Duke.
Oh, I said Urban, yeah, but like Spurrier at Duke, I don't know how that hire was looked at. Like Florida also wasn't the program it was.
No, they had a really good Duke. If I remember, I mean, I wasn't alive in 1990, but or 1989, but like if I like from what I've heard, I'm pretty sure I think Duke had like a good offense, and obviously he had the connect because he was an alum of the program.
Yeah.
But I mean, also we were a different program. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but we were a different program too. Like our hiring standards in 1990 or 1989, whatever, were significantly lower than they are now. So things have changed.
The Urban Meyer hire from Utah was also a lower level hire.
Technically, but he was coming off a Fiesta Bowl win year and was just seen as like, I mean, we were competing with Notre Dame for that one. So it was like, he was seen as that guy, like the big name in the cycle. So yeah, I just, I think those are the hires that have been successful, but I mean, even if it's like a Drinkwitz, I mean, I would be fine with Eli Drinkwitz. He's not my first choice, but like, I would be fine with Eli Drinkwitz.
Eli Drinkwitz's biggest negative is the culture fit.
I agree.
And there's a legit argument that that's just culture's overrated. Look at Billy.
But also like, and just to play devil's advocate, like legit, when you say that, do you mean that he's just like kind of a dork?
Yes,
like,
he would get bullied by the fans.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a guy that if it was bad, but like I think if we were good,
if we're winning, yeah.
I would think like the lightsaber or whatever the lightsaber or the whatever he did to troll Dan Mullen, like I would love that. I would absolutely love that. The dorky trolling if we were.
It's kind of like with Jim McElwain. Like it was fine, but then when it fell off, it tumbled real quick. It spiraled.
Yeah.
Where is it at? Why would you say Cignetti is a B? If he can do it at Indiana, imagine Florida. He hasn't beaten anybody yet. Well, it's like that's again like the hire from a lower level place to a higher level place. It's the same argument. Like, can he do that? Here?
Yeah, you can make that argument for literally anybody. Like you can make John Summerall.
Besides,
if he can do it at Tulane, why can't he do it here? If Billy Napier can do it at Louisiana, why can't he do it here? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that won't work. I think, first of all, Cignetti's old. He's in his 60s. He's at least 60. He might be like 61. So
I think
that's
like
not a long. Yeah, so it's not like a long-term solution. You're getting probably 6-7 years max.
He's 64.
64. Yeah, I mean, so you're getting less than a decade for sure. Maybe like 6-7 years. I don't know.
What I saw. Let me get the name here real quick. Yeah, Mike Shanahan. What I saw people were saying is you hire Cignetti for the 5, 6, 7 years maybe you get out of him for Mike Shanahan to be the guy coming up. But I don't know how long that would last with Cignetti. It might be too long for Shanahan to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Will Muschamp at Texas, like the entire time Muschamp was the guy running up for Mac Brown at Texas, but it didn't happen quick enough, and boom, Muschamp's at Florida.
Also, like, I will just to be clear, if you tell me that Curt Cignetti is going to come in and have us be a consistent playoff team, but he's only going to be here for 5 years, I'm like, okay, just like sign me up right now. We can figure that out. Like, I don't think you have to hire a guy who's going to be here for 20 years to be clear, but I think like if it works with Lane, he could be because Lane's like 50 early. He's no older than like 52, I think.
No, I mean maybe 50
because he was young. Because Lane was
years old.
Yeah, 50. Because like Lane was like 29 when he was coaching the Raiders or something like that. Lane was really young.
Yep.
So Lane is not as old as you think he is for how long he's been around.
What happens with DJ Lagway long term? That's gonna be the decision of him and his family and the new coaching staff.
Yeah.
I mean, Lane Kiffin's the guy we're all talking about, but everything I've heard about him, or let me rephrase that. what I was told is Lagway would probably stay for Lane Kiffin, but would Lane want Lagway? I think that's a legit question at this point. Like, I know you brought it up earlier about is Lagway past the point of return? Is he a broken quarterback? Is he too far gone? I've had some people say they think he is.
Maybe.
I'm
never gonna fully believe that until I see it with a better coach, just because we saw what he can be and we know what Billy's offense and quarterback development is. Like, I won't be able to quit him. I will still, even if he leaves and goes to a competent offensive staff somewhere else, I'm gonna probably believe he's gonna end up being pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I still have faith in him, but it's a weird point right now. Someone just pointed this out. Lane's coaching staff at FAU. Oh.
No, sorry. I was going to address this.
I'll hit this first. The bigger question is, are Florida fans going to scream if Lane comes here and we go 8-4 or 9-3? Scream like good or scream? I'm assuming bad.
I think he's saying, like, is it going to be like the Mullen thing where like people will quickly get not happy with it? I mean, look, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for the fan base. And this might not be a popular thing to say, but I'm past the point of being like, Florida needs to hire a guy who's going to have us competing for national championships every year. We have not been that program since I was a child. Just truly, like, we haven't. Go get me a guy, especially in the 12 team, soon to be 16 team playoff era. Like, go get me a guy that is just consistently in the mix there. Like, if Lane comes and wins 9 games, that does no worse than 9 wins every year, that I would consider that a successful tenure. And, you know, maybe I'm part of the problem. Maybe I'm part of the problem lowering the standards here. But look, the standards can't be national championship or bust until you prove you're anything more than a 7-5 program, which is what we've been for the predominant part of the last 15 years. Urban Meyer was at Florida for 5 years. Juan Manuel.
Okay, so
right? No, 6 years. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 6. Sorry.
So someone just pointed out to me Lane Kiffin's coaching staff at Ole Miss. I mean, not Ole Miss, at FAU. And I'm checking one thing here. Yeah. So guess who his offensive coordinator was? Do you know who it is, or do you have any clue?
I'm trying to remember. Was it Spurrier Jr.?
No. It was Jeff Lebby.
Oh, wait, really?
Yep.
Was that when Lebby was kind of, I guess, being iced out of the sport would be the word to say?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Is he kind of got implicated in the Baylor stuff a little bit? I don't know if that like had him out of the game for a time.
I think that kind of goes hand in hand also with the defensive coordinator.
Was it was it Ron Roberts?
No. DJ Durkin.
Oh, yeah, because he had Durkin at Ole Miss too at one point, didn't he? Yeah, okay, I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean,
then his offensive line coach at FAU, Randy Clements, is now the offensive line coach at UNC. Obviously, I mean, he's gone up from FAU line coach to UNC line coach. I mean, so that's a good hire for FAU. Blake Gideon, who's now the defensive coordinator at Georgia Tech, who's being like big name now. And let's see. Do you remember Chris Partridge? Why does that name sound familiar?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember why it does. He's definitely a name I've heard come up from time to time, like covering the sport. I'm trying to remember why.
He's the linebacker coach. So he was at So he's the linebacker coach at Seattle now. He was at Michigan.
So he was Ole Miss's code. Wait, are you looking at his FAU?
Was he
his Ole Miss staff, right?
No, FAU. Why doesn't it say?
I don't see that on his. I'm looking at his.
Oh, never mind. Okay, sorry. You can just ignore. This was Lane's 2020 staff at Ole Miss year 1.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I didn't think DJ Durkin coached under him at FAU. I was like, I don't remember that. Or Lebby. I was like, I didn't remember Lebby coaching there either. I was like, wait, what?
Sorry. I mean, okay.
No, you're good. That makes more sense.
That's a really good staff still.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
building a staff seems to be a strength for Lane Kiffin during his tenure. I mean, now he has Pete Golden. Like, I know there's a lot of people who hate on Pete Golden.
I think that hire's worked out pretty well for them.
Yeah.
Like, for a guy who like Alabama fans wanted to like throw to the curb, basically. I mean, that seems like that's worked out pretty nicely.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, that's not your. Lagway should be redshirted and be a healthy, slimmer redshirt. It's just like we don't know the health. Like there's no guessing right now, or there's guessing, but there's no definitive answer to what the health issue is at this point.
I would also say,
but I agree.
If Lagway like announced that he was just like without saying, "Hey, I'm injured," if Lagway was just like, "Hey, this isn't going well, I'm going to take a red shirt," that would not fill me with confidence about his future as a college football player. If it was bad enough that because I mean, he's a competitive guy. I mean, we know he is. So the fact that he would feel the need to do that, I don't know. Like I just think he just needs new coaching, whether that's here, whether that's at Texas A&M, whatever, Clemson, whatever, wherever it is, he just needs someone else to step in there. USC, I don't know, but
he's just in his Josh Allen, Wyoming era.
Yeah.
All right, but long show tonight. A lot of talking about the future here. Not surprising to any of us, but do you have any final thoughts before we close up the show?
Nothing really, other than just I wish this was a show where we were actually talking about Billy Napier getting fired and like actually getting more in depth. Because once it happens, we'll go more in depth on some of these candidates. But kind of just in limbo right now, and I think there's a couple games you can win, but I certainly don't go into these next 2 weeks feeling any confidence whatsoever. So hopefully something can change here that gives us at least, a slimmer of a reason for optimism, because we've still got a lot of season left, man. It's the third weekend of September. There's a lot of football left to be played for things to feel as bleak as they do right now.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we are 4-0 going into this game, talking about a top 10 matchup. But, if you want Billy fired that bad before this, I'm kidding. No, but, yeah, I mean, it sucks. Now we have a bye week. I mean, it's a good bye week at least. So we got some good games to watch. Don't have to worry about the Gators losing a football game this week. But, no, I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. The chat was great today. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. And, we'll be talking about the Texas game. Maybe we'll be talking. Maybe Billy gets fired. Seems unlikely, but oh, what's this? Why is Brian here saying our line coach?
He's joking that Rob S is Rob Sale. Which
Rob,
if you are Rob Sale, let's go. That's awesome. If you're just in here on a burner with your first with your real first name and last initial, just criticizing your employer. Awesome. Keep it coming.
Yeah. I've known that the entire time. That's why I haven't trashed you, but no. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next Sunday, or maybe we'll have an emergency live show in the week for Billy firing, but probably not. But
probably not.
Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time. And as always, go Gators.